welcome to Dragon Tail Tarot. My name is Ariel, and this is our celebration of the first day of Christmas. The 0 hour of Christmas is actually Christmas Day, and so in the tradition of the 12 days of Christmas, I am going to be taking you through day by day with a live stream each day celebrating what each of these 12 days of Christmas traditionally represent and had those celebrations of, and that ends on January 6th with the day of Epiphany. So I really get into this kind of stuff. I really love history. I love knowing where our traditions and songs and all that kind of thing comes from, where symbology, where a lot of these things that we practice, we don't even understand where they come from, and then we get into it, it's like, oh, that's why that's there. Hey there, Ian. Hey, Hair Raisin. Good to see you in the chat. I am so excited about this. I saw Fran in here too. Good to see you tonight. So today is the first day of Christmas, the 26th of December. It's also considered Boxing Day in a lot of countries. It's a big celebration that they have there. And it is the day of the Wren. It is Wren's Day, also called St. Stephen's Day. There's a whole lot of lore, legend, tradition, and folklore and music that are wrapped up into this particular day of the year. And I'm very excited about it. I am a bird lover. If you don't know, if you haven't come to my Spirit Animal Sundays, oh my goodness, y'all, I am a bird lover, a big bird watcher. I have been my whole life. And so the wren has always been a little bird that I've been very, very aware of. He is not very big. Wrens are not very large. I actually have this little porcelain figurine of a wren. And many times they do have a little bit of striping, you know, along the feathers. And so in my neck of the woods in Atlanta in the southeast, the wren that we have is called the Carolina wren. So that's the one that I see quite a bit. And they are very vocal. They're very feisty. They're so fun to watch. I can't even. Like, they get up on there and they will start, like, before they go eat at the feeder, they will start singing and they'll just kind of like bounce as they sing. They go, ta, 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 ta. And then for a while they jump over to the feeder and start eating, and you can always hear like the male and female wrens like fussing at each other. It is hilarious. They'll just kind of, you know, it's just, oh my gosh, I love the wren. And so as you know, as I got older and, you know, learn more about the wren, it just opened my world. When I was 17 years old, I joined a a Celtic music band named Barney's Goat, and they performed a very old song called the Cuddy Wren. And cuddy is an old word that kind of means cunning or sly or, you know, skillful or sneaky. And so this song dates back to somewhere between 1381 and 1398 from Oxfordshire in England. And it is a very, very old tune that has survived throughout the years. And I will be singing that for you tonight as we go through our celebration of the Day of the Wren. It's a very interesting song, no doubt. So I was joking. I was like, are y'all ready to party like it's 1399? Because that's how old this music is. So, tarot spirit reading for you all. You know, hit each 12 of the signs, and we're going to talk about what the energy is coming through as, you know, from the inspiration and the spirit of the wren. But first, I am going to read you a little bit about this incredible little spirit animal. This is a card from one of my favorite old decks. I have had this deck for a very, very long time. It is from the Druid Animal Oracle. And this is all about what it has to say about the wren spirit in this deck. So this card shows a wren holding a feather in its beak as it guards its nest filled with eggs. Tradition calls the wren's nest the Druid's house. A bolt of lightning represents Tyrannus, the bull god of thunder and lightning. Sounds very Taurus, right? Very Taurus energy. The oak tree and the wren. The Ogham sign in the stone is of Dŵr the oak. Druid is the Gaelic name for wren. allows us to glimpse the beauty of God or goddess in all things. He tells us that small is beautiful, and that self-realization lies not in grandiosity or apparent power, but in humility, gentleness, and subtlety. Cunning, if tempered with humor and good intent, is the way of achieving great things with an economy of effort and a rational, honest use of the achievements of others. So here we go. The tradition of the wren. Of all the birds revered by the Druids, the wren was considered the most sacred. In Ireland, it was called the druin, or druid bird. In Welsh, the word drew signifies both a druid and a wren. Why is it that the druid is pictured as an apparently nondescript little bird and not as an obviously powerful bird like the eagle? The following story from the Western Highlands of Scotland tells us, in a great assembly of all the birds of the air, it was decided that the sovereignty of the feathered tribe should be given to the bird who could fly the highest. The favorite was naturally the eagle, who immediately began his flight toward the sun, fully confident in his ability to win the title of king of the birds. When he found himself soaring high above all his competitors, he proclaimed in a mighty voice his monarchy over all creatures that had wings. But suddenly, from out of his wing, popped the wren, who had hidden himself under the eagle's feathers. He flew up a few inches higher and chirped out loudly, "Birds, look up, and behold your king." So, that leads me to my first song of the evening. Because, and I have my drum under this piece of fabric. I do this to kind of dampen the sound so it won't be too loud coming through. So it won't be, because it's very loud if you hit it without this. So I'm going to sing you a song that I personally wrote because I was feeling very inspired and by this story about the wren. I do have this on a CD, guys. I put a link down below in my description box if you're interested in purchasing CDs from my eBay store. I do have that recorded on my album Verticordia, and it is called Wren in the Rose Bush. And it is all about the story that I just told you about the wren flying and becoming the king of the birds through his cunning and through his snarky little skill. All right, here we go. Oh, the birds had a gathering for their praises to sing, and also to determine who would prove to be king. All their feathers were shining in the sunlight above, from the smallest of sparrows to the sweet morning dove. Fly away, fly away, fly away. Fly away, oh, down in a So bow down to my crafty mind and my skill, for now I have flown higher than any bird will, and for the ages to come my praise you will sing, for the smallest among you has become your great king. Fly away, 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 fly away. There we have it. The tale of the wren becoming the king of the birds. Oh my goodness. So this story shows us the wren as a cunning bird prepared to build on the achievements of others and to mock their pride by outwitting them at a final moment. The shaman was also known as the cunning man, and the druid as shaman is also the cunning man, the man who becomes invisible like the wren, who can travel on the back of the eagle to reach his destination, saving himself energy in the process. Being small, he is unobtrusive. And being small, he can enter worlds that bigger people cannot, as Alice discovered in Wonderland. Being proud makes us unwieldy. Being small and humble enables us to slip through the eye of the needle or down the root of the tree. The Breton Druids go even further in according the wren a key role in their bird lore. They say that it was the wren who brought fire from heaven, and that as she flew back down to earth, her wings began to singe, and she had to pass her gift to the robin, whose plumage also started to burst into flames. The lark then came to the rescue, finally bringing the gift of fire to the world. The druid's house is the wren's nest, a place of comfort and safety, for another important symbol in druidry is the egg. Aha, the druid's egg articulates the idea that in order to grow and change, we need to go through periods of incubation, withdrawing from the world to allow ourselves to reform in the womb of time. The wren's nest was said to be protected by lightning. That's what whoever tried to steal the wren's eggs or baby wrens would find their house struck by lightning and their hands would shrivel up. That's a pretty good reason to not go purloining wren eggs. Lightning was also considered by the Druids to be the weapon of the thunder god Tyrannus. This is very Taurus energy there. That's the Taurus, the bull god Tyrannus, who often inhabited the oak trees, and the wren was sacred to Taurus or Tyrannus. So that's for all you Taurus folks. The oak struck by lightning is the symbol of the enlightened Druid, the sage infused with the power of the Sky Father. The Pictish stones found in Scotland often bear the zigzag line of a lightning flash to convey the same concept. Very, very interesting. Okay, guys, so let's go on to our next reading here. Yes, I have lots of wren lore. All right, now this book, I love this book. I did put the title of it down there below in my description box as well. This is the Winter Solstice Sacred Traditions of Christmas by John Matthews. This is one of the coolest books I've ever come across. I bought this many years ago, and more, I love it. It has so much information in it. Information, man, I'm saying. And it does have a big passage about the King Wren, right? And so that is definitely, there's more to this than just that old story, guys. So here we go. The wren, the king of all the birds, on St. Stephen's Day, is caught in the furze. One of the most remarkable and dramatic solstice customs involving animals was the hunting of the wren. Okay? Not a good deal for the wren on this one, I'll tell you what. Traditionally, it takes place on Boxing Day or St. Stephen's Day, December 26th. The custom lasted long in Wales and the Isle of Man and still takes place in Ireland. A description from 1840 describes it thus: for some weeks preceding Christmas, crowds of village boys may be seen peering into hedges in search of the wren, and when one is discovered, the whole assemble give chase they have slain the poor little bird. In the hunt, the utmost excitement prevails. Shouting, screeching, rushing, all sorts of missiles are flung at the puny bird. From bush to bush, from hedge to hedge, is the wren pursued until bagged with as much pride and pleasure as the cock by the woods by the more ambitious sportsman. On the anniversary of St. Stephen, the enigma is explained. Attached to a huge holly bush elevated on a pole, the bodies of several little wrens are borne through the streets in procession, every now and then stopping before some popular house where they sing the wren song. The wren, the king of all birds on St. Stephen's Day, was caught in the furs. Though his body is small, his family is great. So if it please your honor, give us a treat. On Christmas Day, I turn to spit. I burn my finger, I feel it yet. Up with the kettle, down with the pan. Give us some money to bury the wren. Okay, so the reason for this is that they considered the wren to be the bird that made a big fuss and a lot of noise, right? Okay, so Saint Stephen was pursued and was killed and martyred, right? And so they considered the wren to be the bird that outed him, that made the noise, that revealed him to his pursuers. So the wren had this connection with not being something that was such a great thing. And so this has long been a tradition. I don't think it's really celebrated in the same way anymore. I don't think they actually go out and kill wrens anymore. I hope not anyway. But that's what these kids would do. They would go out, they would hunt and kill a wren, put him in a little box or put him on a pole, and they would get treats and favors from people throughout the community because of this. I know. So this definitely wasn't this was a dark period of history for our wren out there, absolutely, because they were being hunted and pursued because of this connection. Not such a nice thing in a whole lot of ways. Right, yeah. Here we go. The association of the wren killing with St. Stephen's Day could derive from a legend of the saint's visit to Scandinavia. In this story, St. Stephen, having been captured by soldiers, was about to make his escape when the wren uttered its noisy song and awoke his guards, for which the reason the wren is said to be unlucky. And so that's why they took it upon themselves to kill the bird and go about. So there is that. And then, of course, in time, Stephen's Day, Boxing Day, is known in Britain and celebrated as well in Canada from the custom of giving a Christmas box to servants on this date. Draws together a number of solstice traditions. So it's pretty intense. And then the really interesting thing about this that comes about as a result, right? We get back to the whole connection between the wren being the king, okay? Now, in British tradition, the king hasn't always been so smiled upon, to put it nicely. People have not always liked the king very much. Most of the time they've been like, down with the king. And so the wren songs became code for the king. It's like, we're gonna go out and kill the king, wink wink, we're gonna kill the wren. We're killing the wren. But that was the king of the birds. So symbolically, we were killing the king. So that's why this song that I'm about to sing for you, you can actually look this up on Google. Sing along at home. Sing along at home. This is the song called The Cutty Wren. Like I said, this one goes back to the late 1300s from Oxfordshire. I like that in this book it says, the king wren who is remembered in a curious song that manages to encapsulate some strange significance of the custom. But let me tell you, this particular, birds died. Absolutely birds died. It's intense. The hunting of the wren, no, they went out and killed these wrens, and they would either put them in a box or carry them up on a pole and take them from house to house because, like I said, there was that thing where the bird outed St. Stephen in tradition to his captors, right? And so there was this association of the wren being an unlucky omen or an unlucky bird, even though that's a more modern take on it from what the Druids associated it with. The Druids associated the bird with the highest of divinity, right? It's that, Celtic to Christianization crossover that starts happening. But in more modern times, by the late 1300s, people were taking this song, the Cuddy Wren, and shifting it in meaning a little bit. It's really funny. So this song, hey there, Colin, thank you for that blessing, my friend, and I hope you stay warm. I hope you warm up, and hope you're getting a lot of hot tea at least. Hot drinks, hot coffee, you gotta get it. Because it is freezing out there tonight. It really, really is. So this song is very weird. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot to it. There's a lot in it. It's sort of a humorous song. I would say it's sort of a gruesomely hilarious tune about going out and hunting the wren. It is considered a revolution song. It's a song that was actually used by a lot of workers and labor movements when they were opposing mandates, either from the king or from the government, throughout the hundreds of years of its existence. Because this song, it's kind of like, it really is at the end about, you know, this is a song where there's these guys that are going out to hunt the wren, and the way that they're talking about the wren makes it sound like the wren is a huge 400-pound turkey, right? Instead of this little tiny bird that the wren actually is. But at the end is really the big twist, because they said, who gets who gets to eat the wren, right? Who gets to eat this dinner? And they say, we'll give it all to the poor. So literally in this song, it is a metaphor for hunting down the king, killing him, and dividing his riches amongst the poor. And this was a way that you could say that in public without getting in trouble. Because throughout time, there's always been these things where you can't say anything bad about the king, you can't sing songs or tell stories or write poems that are down on the king, because that's bad news. You can't be doing that. But people would do it. About the wren, who was the king of the birds. And so he became a symbol of the king in human form over time. I know, it is some weird stuff. So this is a song called The Cuddy Wren. This derives as far back to 1381 to 1398. So this is a song that's been with us a very long time. And you can look up the lyrics, I'm sure, on Google if you want to sing along. Normally, this is a song that I would sing with 2 or 3 more people, because it's kind of sung in a round and everybody could sing a line, and it gets really, really fun. Oh, it's hilarious when you get to sing this in a group. So I'm going to have to really use my breath wisely, because there's a lot of lyrics and it's kind of fast-paced. And it's a real knee slapper, literally. All right, guys. And this song, I did record this song actually with several of my friends back in Oregon. And so I do have a link posted in my description box. That is on my Wintersong album, if you're interested in having that so you can listen to it again and again. It's been a favorite song of mine for over 20 years now, and I hope that you enjoy it. Here is The Cuddy Wren. Oh, where are you going? We may not tell you, said Fessel to foal. We're off to the woods, said John the Red-Nosed. We're off to the woods, says John the Red-Nosed. And what will you do there, said Milder to Malder. We may not tell you, said Fessel to foals. We'll hunt the cuddy wren, said John the Red-Nosed. We'll hunt the cuddy wren, said John the Red-Nosed. And how will you shoot her, said Milder to Malder. We may not tell you, said Fessel to. And with arrows, says John the Red-Nosed. Says John the Red-Nosed, but that will not do, said Milder to Malder. Oh, what will do then, said Fessel to foals. Big guns and big cannons, says John the Red-Nosed. Big guns and big cannons, says John the Red-Nosed. And how will you you carry her? Said Milder to Mulder. Oh, we may not tell you, said Fessel to Foes. On 4 strong men's shoulders, says John the Red-Nosed. On 4 strong men's shoulders, says John the Red-Nosed. But that will not do, said Milder to Mulder. Oh, what will do then, said Fessel to Foes. Big carts and big wagons, says John the Red-Nosed. Big carts and big wagons, says John the Red-Nosed. And how will you cut her up, said Milder to Mulder. Oh, we may not tell you, said Fessel to Foes. With knives and with forks, says John the Red-Nosed. With knives and with forks, says John the Red-Nosed. But that will not do, said Milder to Mulder. Oh, what will do then, said Fessel to Foes. Big hatchets and cleavers, says John the Red-Nosed. Big hatchets and cleavers, says John the Red-Nosed. And how will you cook her, said Milder to Mulder. Oh, we may not tell you, said Fessel to Foes. In pots and in pans, says John the Red-Nosed. In pots and in pans, says John the Red-Nosed. But that will not do, said Milder to Mulder. Oh, what will do then, said Fessel to Foes. In a bloody great brass cauldron, says John the Red-Nosed. In a bloody great brass cauldron, says John the Red-Nosed. And who gets the spare rib, said Milder to Mulder. Oh, we may not tell you, said Fessel to Foes. We'll give them all to the poor, says John the Red-Nosed. We'll give them all to the poor, says John the Red-Nosed. And there it is, the Cuddy Wren. One of my favorite songs, even better when sung in a group. Absolutely. That's what I have on my album, is this sung in a group. I had 2 of my friends all sing it. And it's great because it's like a conversation. It's like, where are you going? We're going to go hunt the wren. Oh, how are you going to do it? And it's never good enough. Yes, it's a fabulously weird song with a lot of history behind it of hunting the wren, and symbolically in our modern times, hunting the king, killing him and dividing his riches amongst the poor. So very, very interesting time. Very interesting day. If you've ever heard of like the mummers plays, which are like those old, really unique ones where they wear like the costumes and the disguises made of straw and hay and things like that, that they perform that as well. They perform, that's one of their mummers songs. So then we also have, celebrating the animals, something that you can do for St. Stephen's Day, for the Day of the Wren. And it says, and Moonchild's gonna love this in the chat, make any favorite kind of cake. Ice it and decorate it with a circle of animal figures. These can be homemade or bought from any toy store, following the invocation over the cake as you serve it. Creatures of the wild world, we honor your strength, we honor your power, we honor your joy. May you bring us the gift of your presence, the blessing of your truth, the light of your being, now and through the year to come. So anybody that wants to do so can bake a wren cake or any kind of cake that you like, and celebrate this day of the animals and the birds. So let's get into our readings for everybody. I am going to pull some cards for each person, for each sign, I should say, each of our 12 signs in the chat, to get some messages from our beloved Wren and animal spirits. We will, of course, be doing Spirit Animal Sunday tomorrow. I will be mixing it together with a little celebration of the second day of Christmas, which is considered the day honoring the mothers. So it's really, really cool. It's really cool. Oh, yes, Moonchild, she says, that's so much cake. Are you having a big party? Yes, I'm celebrating all the animals. I imagine that like a good wren cake needs to have a lot of like seeds and nuts and things in it, because that's what those wrens are always looking for out there. So to me, this is This is a reading that I would say, you know, I want it to be very much focused on what it is that we can embody for empowering ourselves, emboldening ourselves, because the Wren is really about being small doesn't mean being weak, right? Being small doesn't mean being weak. And so there's this very, it's like, how can you, you know, many times I think that that's something that leads to a lot of depression and heavy feeling, because we feel like there's so much going on in the world and there's so much that we really want to accomplish and do and move and grow. And sometimes it's really easy to feel that our, you know, contribution isn't enough somehow. And so, you know, something that I really feel that's important to learn through the energy of the Wren and of these animal spirits like that is that, like I said, the Wren used its cunning. The Wren was a small bird. It's like, I can't get there through my brawn, through my strength. So I've got to use my wits. I've got to use my skill set. And so this to me is going to be a reading about how do we best use our skill set? How do we best, you know, use whatever gifts, even if they seem small, in whatever way that we can put them out there. That is the best way to go. I'm excited. I'm going to do this. I've got, I'm going to pull one card from this Druid Animal Oracle, and the Wren is a part of that oracle, so the Wren may come up for your sign. We'll see. And I've also got my my Crow Tarot. I'm wearing a Raven pendant tonight. I wish I had a Wren pendant, but I'm wearing that as an honor of our winged friends. And so we're going to get some little messages, and then I am going to pull as well a card off the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle, because to me the Wren is one of my little bird heroes. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to begin with our first sign. We'll go directly through. Let's burn a little bit of sweetgrass to just cleanse and clear our space. Let's get a little bit of that. We'll also do some sage, of course. All right, guys. Moonchild. I love you, Moonchild. Oh my goodness. That's a bit of an inside joke, Moonchild. I'll have to share that with everyone in the chat. The rope burning comment, yes. Had a very I don't necessarily like to bring it in, but we are gonna sage it out, so it's all right. Had a very, very negative message from someone who said that I shouldn't be burning things on my readings. And she called my sweetgrass burning rope burning. And I was like, it's not rope, it's sweetgrass. It has a very long tradition, especially among indigenous people, of using it to cleanse, clear, purify, and literally sweeten the disposition of everyone. And she called it rope burning, so it really made us all laugh. Me, Moonchild, and Jacqueline, we were having a good laugh about that. So it's not rope burning, but it can be if you want it to be. Yes, I have actually received hate mail because I burn sage and sweetgrass on my readings. Yeah, only from one person though, out of thousands. So I'm not really too worried about it. But yeah, no, I absolutely. I live in a place where there are a lot of, you know, Cherokee people, indigenous people. That's been a part of my life my whole life. I don't have a lot of indigenous native ancestry. I have some Cherokee, some Six Nations, but I've always been very involved like with that. And so that's literally where I learned about burning sage and burning sweetgrass, was like from people who've done it forever. So I feel like even though I'm certainly not purely indigenous, I come by it pretty honest. So folks that don't know about burning sage and sweetgrass should maybe get into it, because it's very helpful. It's you know, it's not just a method of purification, guys, and cleansing. It's also literally about, you know, smoke carries messages to the Great Spirit and to the divine. And so it's actually a way of communicating with the divine and with our ancestors and things like that. Yeah. So yeah, she told me that it was a clown show that I do on my channel because of the sweetgrass burning. And she also told me I was ringing bells. I don't ring bells, but I do use tuning forks. My tuning forks are, I've been using them a long time. I do sound therapy. Haven't been doing it in person this year because of the COVID, but Fran Porter, I recommend going on Etsy for sweetgrass, actually. That's my best source lately. Because if you can't get it directly, like from an indigenous place, like it's really easy to find indigenous people or tribal nations that sell sweetgrass or sage, and it's a great way to support, you know, people on reservations and small businesses because they need it. They really need it. It's shitty out there. There's just no nice way to say it. So yes, tuning forks. I do use these. I have many of them. Tuning forks are the same as like the sonic sound vibrations. You can always look on YouTube and look those up. I often meditate or fall asleep to the 528 Hz frequency because that's a great one for your heart chakra, your solar plexus. And so absolutely, I really do believe in sonic vibration, and it does heal, and it does have a very therapeutic effect. That was another thing this person told me. She was like, you don't have any skills. You don't know how to heal. You don't do this. You don't know anything. And I'm like, okay. Okay. It's like I literally like did a certification program to do tuning fork therapy, but okay. And it works for me, you know, and I'm always very much about the fact that any therapy, anything that you do, if it works for you, it makes you feel better, it puts you in a more positive place, and you literally feel more upbeat, you're going to feel so much better. If it doesn't work for you, don't worry about it. Let it go. I'm not selling religion here at all, y'all. You can be from wherever you want, for real. You can be whatever and whoever you want. I feel that spirituality is a very personal journey, and so I never sit in judgment of what anybody loves or what works for them. Even the Buddha said, don't believe something just because I said it. Try it out for yourself. And if it works for you, make that part of your life. Make it part of your world. If it doesn't work for you, then don't. And I believe that sometimes through life as well, we will go through times of life where certain practices or spiritualities call to us, and it works for us for a while, and then it shifts and we move into something different, right? And that's totally fine. We should be here to grow and learn and expand. And so that's why when people ask me, what is your religion or what's your thing? I'm like, kind of all of it. Kind of all of it, because I believe that there's truth and beauty in so many spiritual practices. And it's just worth, you know, looking at them for yourself. And I can't tell you what that is, and no one else can either. So be yourself, be yourself. That is my Aquarius rising clarion call. Be yourself. Be you. Be authentic. We need real, authentic people in the world that are living passionately in their truth, because our differences make us stronger. Our diversity makes us amazing. We get to learn and grow from each other. I certainly don't know everything, and I get on here and y'all tell me stuff sometimes. I'm like, darn, I learned something here tonight. So I love that. I love to be able to share and grow and interact. I think it's just like what turns me on intellectually, mentally, spiritually, and I feel very grateful that there are so many awesome people here that are very much the same. Capricorn tea. It tastes like hard work. It tastes like get off your butt and get something done. All right, guys. So I have my Earth fork. This is the frequency of the Earth in orbit. And I have the sun vibration, which is the frequency of the sun. So these are very, very nice grounding and illuminating kind of energies. You could say that the earth is very similar to our root chakra energy. The sun is very similar to our solar plexus, which is very much about encouraging our confidence, self-worth, self-realization. And so I'm just going to hit these. I'm going to be ringing them. Be careful. Oh my goodness. Let's see what we've got, guys. We're going to just tune in, tune up, line our frequencies. I also use these to clear my card decks because sonic vibration is great. Yeah, I went to ringing school. I'm okay. When I was a teenager, I did some bell ringing in a church I was in. That counts. I did do like the do 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 with the bells with the gloves. I did that for a minute. It was really weird. It was harder than you think it might be. You have to wait for your turn to ring your particular bell. It was nuts. It was cool when it worked, but darn, it took practice. With a big group, everybody's got their bell. Like you've each got two. Like you've got two hands because you've got two bells. It's so bad, like when your turn comes and you don't remember to ring your bell. You're like, oh, darn. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, that feels good. You rang? Yeah. Lurch from the atmosphere. You rang. I like that. Yes, so much. You know, laughter is very important. So I laugh a lot and I encourage laughter. I believe in the wisdom of the famous Aries Maya Angelou, who said I don't trust people who never laugh. People don't laugh. I'm like, you okay in there? You okay? You okay? Y'all right? Y'all right? That's a good thing to do, Moonchild. Keep yourself laughing. Laughing is a vibration. Oh yeah, Maya Angelou was definitely an Aries. She also, I've got several quotes from her taped up on my wall. One of them was about anger, and Aries knows about anger, and she said, you know, resentment is like poison. It will eat you up inside, but anger, righteous anger, it will burn the host clean. It completely purifies and you know, clears everything out. And the other thing that she said that I love is that people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they will never forget specific words or the specific action, but we never forget how it left us feeling. And that's like, I think that's what we turn to, is that we know from a vibrational level, like who made us feel affirmed and seen and heard. We know that. We don't have to second guess it. We don't have to second guess it. All right. And on that note, speaking about Miss Aries, we're going to talk about Aries. We're going to go in order on these readings tonight for our beautiful day of the Wren here. So we're going to start out with our Aries folks in the house. Yes, yes. Moonchild, you are coming up first, babe. So let's start out with our little firebrand, our little Aries. I'm going to say a quick invocation for us all. Dear spirits of our animals, dear beautiful Wren, our beautiful Cuddy Wren today, this is the day that we honor you and your energy. I'm asking for our bird spirits, our animal spirits, the nature and the energy of the Wren to help us today. Give us insights on how we can best use our gifts out in the world, no matter how small they may seem. How do we use our gifts to affect change in the world, change in our lives that we would like to see happen? So let's start with you, Aries. We have the Hind. All right, so Aries, this is that beautiful feminine it's like, you know, the hind is similar to a deer. It's that subtlety, it's that grace. It's a more feminine energy. Interestingly enough, Aries, I'm actually going to dig into the little book because there's always some keywords about this, about these cards, and I love to look them up. So yeah, subtlety, gracefulness, femininity. Yeah, this is all about using your subtle energies, Aries. Sometimes it's not about being loud, bold, knocking people over with that fire. Sometimes it's a little bit about embracing that softer side, that softer part of yourself. So let me see what else we've got in here. I love digging in a little deeper. I feel like this is history night here. Yeah. The hind calls us to follow her deeper into the forest. Standing in the sunlight, she appears so elusive. We are not sure she is of this world. Gentleness and grace of the feminine principle, whether you're male or female, to the quality of the hind will enable you to achieve a greater degree of subtlety, elegance, and grace. So, yes, and I would also say because the hind is a white animal, white energy tends to be more like on that like spirit dimension, right? It's more the spirit dimension, whereas our black energy is more the energy of like that black moon of the void, of bringing things into manifestation. So, you know, that's really telling you something too, that it's about the spirit of it, the feeling of it, what it feels like when you're sort of embracing that more gentle approach. You know, it's like Aries, if you want to change something, if you want to affect, you know, a different dynamic, instead of just being very strong and coming on with your Mars energy, which I know you all have, this is saying use a little grace, use a little, you know, softness, you know, be a little softer in your approach. You're going to get what you want and affect the changes that you would like to see by using that side of yourself. Doesn't mean you still can't be Mars energy or fire energy there, Aries, but it also just means to embrace both sides. That to me brings you into a lot of balance. So let's get 3 cards from our Crow Tarot, our Birdie Tarot. I love this bird. I love this tarot deck. This is a great one. So let's see what we've got here for Aries. In the ways of manifesting and using your power here on earth. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So Aries, you have got the Ace of Pentacles coming up big time. So this is very much about moving in the material manifest world. I believe that you can affect great, great change. How you use your skills, your gifts, no matter what they are, Spirit is really saying when you start working with us, we start working with you. We start bringing in greater abundance, greater prosperity, a greater sense of grounding and stability. The Devil card is coming up here too. So I believe that in this process, Aries, you're also letting go a lot of things that have held you back in the past. We are in Capricorn season. The Devil card is our Capricorn card. So I would say getting this Ace of Pentacles and also this Devil card, this is a powerful season for you of remembering your own worth. Just like our Wren spirit says, right? It's all about using mind, using your subtlety, using those, you know, skill sets that you have that no one else does in order to change things. And the more that you do that, you come into huge blessings and you're releasing anything that has inhibited or prohibited you in the past. Page of Cups is coming up. So to me, this is that outcome card, and that's really where it ends up going, is that you are able to get to express yourself in those softer, gentler, more subtle ways. Sometimes I think for you, Aries, it's like you can get into that energy of, you know, I'm tough, I'm Mars, I'm very, very bold. I certainly like to have like a little softer energy too sometimes. Can we do that too? Absolutely. You can do that too. With the Hind and the Page of Cups, I believe going forward, you will be able to express yourself in very creative, soft, compassionate ways. And, you know, opening up that other part of your heart, right? Because a little bit, it's funny, you know, Aries and Capricorn, even though in so many ways they're very different, Capricorn is a much older sign. Aries is like our infant of the zodiac. Like Capricorn is like the old man of the zodiac, but they're both cardinal signs. They're both leadership oriented, and they both have this real predisposition to put on that tough facade. And it's not that they aren't tough. Y'all are. You are very tough. But sometimes you want to reveal that softer part of your nature, and you're scared to do it because you're afraid it might make you seem weak. But today, on the day of the Wren spirit is sharing with us, Aries, that you are meant to open up the softer side of your heart to get what you need. Let's get a Hero's Oracle message from this. 10,000 Angels. This is one of my favorite cards from the deck. Again, to me, this is a very intuitive, perceptive, spiritual card. Lean on your circle of supernatural support. So this is beautiful. To me, Spirit is very much on your side. So much more than you may know, Aries. So much more. That's why that Page of Cups is coming in. This is time to really soften the approach and pull into your emotional and spiritual support. Your angels are there. Your guardians, your past and loved ones, they are there. I love this reading. I love this. Yes. All right. Let's go ahead and get ready for Taurus next. Yes, that's right. That's right, Moonchild. You have a crew. We all have a crew. We just don't realize it all the time. Yeah. All right, Taurus, you are next on our list. We're bringing our Taurus up into the house. Today we are celebrating the day of the Wren. So Taurus, this is going to be messages all about how to use your skills, your gifts, your personal talents as we go forward. The spirit of the Wren absolutely teaches us that small can be beautiful. You don't have to be some great big, bloated personality or some kind of huge presence in order to affect great change. And so we are asking for inspiration and messages about how you use your personal skill set and what's the best way to affect the change and get the outcomes that you desire. Ooh, Taurus, we have our air dragon coming out, and this particular Druid Animal Oracle has 4 dragons, one for each of the 4 elements. So to me, when I see this air dragon, this is a lot like Ace of Swords kind of energy. It's very much the element of the air, of the intellect, of the mind, what's coming through to you from your, brilliant intellect. I think a lot of my Taurus out there are so aligned with this energy, and just like we learned in reading all about the Wren, very interestingly, Tyrannus was considered the, the Celtic, the Druidic god of the lightning and the power of the thunder and the lightning, and also that of the Wren itself. So Taurus, you have a very special connection to the Wren, to the lightning, to the thunder, to those areas that seem more lofty and high. And I know that's kind of interesting because Taurus, usually you're seen as such a deep, grounded kind of energy, right? But this is about inspiration, insight, vitality, having your mind being reawakened and using your intellect. I think that a lot of my Taurus folks out there, they second guess their energy, they second guess their brilliance and their amazing mind and ability. Taurus folks, I always say, you have so much ability because you are an earth-ruled sign and you're also ruled by Venus. So Venus is very creative. Most Taurus folks have a very strong body. They have a lot of stamina. They have just an amazing physicality because of that. And then they're also very creative. They have this ability to just kind of do whatever they put their mind to. So this is definitely about putting your mind to it. Taurus, if you have felt in the past like there's something that I'd really like to do and I haven't done it and I don't know if I ever could, this is a time that the Wren is putting you on watch. It's saying definitely try it, definitely go for it. If there's something you need to study, a course you need to take, don't second guess it. Your mind is a lot sharper and more brilliant and very dynamic and forward thinking that you may realize. And also I want to point out that Uranus, the planet that rules Aquarius, sign Taurus. Uranus is traveling through Taurus. So I feel like this is absolutely putting y'all on that notice that it's time to embrace your brilliance, your intelligence, your unique genius. Okay, so let's get 3 cards on this in the Crow Tarot, please. Let's see what more we have for this journey for Taurus. Look at that. Ooh, this is beautiful, guys. The Magician is coming out. So like I said, to me, Taurus, this is about really trying the untried, creating a new reality, trying something unconventional that may seem a little bit crazy, even to yourself or to others. They might go, oh, that'll never work. And you're like, yeah, but I just feel that I should do this. I feel like I should initiate this. The Magician is mental energy. It's Mercury energy. And so it's all about the initiation of a new reality. Again, bringing all your gifts, all your talents to the table, putting them together in a new format. Next up, 1 and 2 from the Major Arcana, stepping it up with our High Priestess. So to me, this is also about really using your intuition here, Taurus. This is about really connecting with the Divine Feminine, paying attention to those lunar and emotional cycles. Beautiful, beautiful energy. I feel like this is like you seriously creating a new reality from the depths of your soul, the wisdom that you've acquired and accrued over time. And you may not tell everyone about it because, like I said, you may tell some people and they're like, oh, that's nuts. Oh, I don't. And you know how that is. Even if it doesn't really knock you off your stride entirely, it sort of steals your thunder a little bit. And this is not the time to have your thunder stolen. Not at all. Because you want to trust yourself. You don't want to bring any naysayers into the situation. They're like, that'll never work. Why are you thinking that? You know, that... I don't know where I got that voice, but you know how they sound. And so, you know, Taurus, this is about really trusting yourself. And if you feel like you're working on something and you need to do it more in seclusion, just go ahead and do it. Because the High Priestess can be secretive, and mysterious. And she does keep those things to herself. Ace of Wands. Look at this outcome, guys. Passionate, bold, new beginnings. A hand from Spirit coming in and blessing you with greater vitality. The air dragon's the same. It's a vital energy that just wakes up your mind. It's like a hit of pure oxygen to your system that really makes you wake up, feel emboldened, enlivened, electric, awake again. Yes. Oh my goodness. Great reading for you, Taurus. This is beautiful. Let's get into the Hero's Journey Oracle and see what we've got as a message for you on all this. A splendid torch. How about it? Hello, fire. Ace of Wands and a splendid torch. I think they're one and the same. Look at that. Blaze brightly. Yes, Taurus, be yourself. Do you. Don't worry about it. For him is just jealousy and just feeling like, oh, that's not fair. Why do they get to try something new? Tune it out. Tune it out. Turn your light up a little higher. This is awesome. This is awesome, Taurus. I am in love with your reading. I am claiming that for you guys out there. My Jupiter's in Taurus. I'm claiming it for myself, for my Jupiter sign. That's right. Moonchild. Ring some bells and burn some ropes. I'm telling you. I burn some ropes. The ropes that hold me back from getting where I want to go. That's the ropes I'm burning right through. All right, so Gemini, you are up, my sparkly, twinkly folks. Now talk about some good energy for Gemini. I believe the Wren is right up your alley because this is some great energy. The Wren spirit, if you watch the beginning of this after the live stream has concluded, is all about using our gifts, our talent, our mental skill, our intellect, and our ability. This is going to be a reading all done in the spirit of the Wren. Today is the traditional day of the Wren, and the Wren teaches us to use whatever our gifts are. We may not be the biggest, the strongest, the smartest, the fastest, but we all have our gifts and talents. So Gemini, let's see what the Wren spirit is inspiring for you today. How to use your gifts and talents the best, and what is coming up and out of that when you begin to access it. Look at that, flying high on the eagle's wings there, Gemini. So to me, this is absolutely an energy that goes very high to spirit. I'm telling you, no limitations. Don't let things hold you back. See things from a higher vantage point and a higher aspect. Similar to the hawk spirit, the eagle sees things from afar, right? It has that understanding of the bigger picture. If you've been seeing things very close up and very tiny, it's time to pull back and see the whole. But to me, the eagle is absolutely connected to the divine, connected to the great spirit, connected to that higher mind aspect. It's about victory. It's about triumph. It's about success. So let's get into your tarot here, Gemini. Ooh, look at that. I'm loving it already. Okay, so the 10 of Wands. So Gemini, I really do feel that when you fly higher, when you go to that next level, when you leave behind the things that have been holding you down or weighing you down, this is also that feeling of, there it is, 10 of Wands. This is the end of a burdensome cycle. This is the end of, you know, old hard energies, something you've really struggled with, maybe something, you know, a particular job or a project or something that's been really weighing you down. I feel like you're ready to, you know, bundle all those sticks up and you're ready to literally fly like an eagle out of there with them, right? It's like, I'm dumping these darn sticks. I'm ready to go to the next level. On the second card, we have the moon. So the moon is Pisces, it's Cancer. It is about those deep intuitive feelings that you get around yourself, around the world. And so it is a feminine energy. It can be a confusing energy. The moon is often connected with a feeling of either deception or not seeing things very clearly. So Gemini, be sure to investigate. Be sure to see things under the light of day as well as under the light of the moon, because they're going to look different under different aspects. You are a dualistic sign, Gemini. You have two very distinct sides of yourself. So sometimes this energy to me for you in your reading can be you trying to please both sides of your personality. Sometimes it's usually the intellect versus the emotions. It's like, I want to get what I want from both sides. And also the moon is a little bit like that high priestess energy. You might feel like keeping some of your ideas and your perceptions to yourself during this time. You might be a little more secretive about it because you know that you've come through this very difficult time. You're letting some old burdens go and you're stepping into a in-between phase. And I think that as you keep going, look at this, you've got your 7 of Pentacles. So check out that nesting energy. You're definitely building something for the future. And I feel like it's going in a very good direction. Your particular gifts and giftings are really about communication, and they are about going to this higher minded energy. As I look into this eagle, you know, intelligence, renewal, courage, renewing yourself on the eagle's wings, Gemini. If you feel like it's time for rebirth, you would be absolutely right. I think you're getting ready to shed off a lot of old energies and you're moving into a very beautiful place where you're going to start building, growing, and pursuing the things that really make you feel happier. Use your intuition, use your voice. That's what I would say are the highest ways to express and embody your personal energy, gifts, and skills. So let's get one card from the Hero's Journey Oracle for our Geminis in the house. Look at that. Yes, the call is coming through, Gemini, and you are hearing it. Honor the whisper of the soul. That's what this moon card feels like, right? It is. This is the whisper of the soul. Don't second guess that. That's a lot of what this feels like to me. And yes, the eagle, the call, to me, this is just like that high vibration energy, a deep call from spirit. It may be something that you get in a dream, could be something that someone says, or some little note that you wrote to yourself years ago and you find it while you're going through that junk drawer and you're like, ah. I forgot about this for a minute, but now I'm going to do something with it. So Gemini, very cool. Pay attention to the signs and synchronicities because they are on fire. Starting with this cycle. Oh yes. Oh yes. All right. Daisy, good to see you, sweetheart. Oh my gosh. Yes. Good to see you, y'all. I saw Ms. Mindful come into the chat as well. And I love to see her. Absolutely. Yay. Got some good folks in here tonight. Thank you so much, y'all, for being here. I'm always happy to have you in the chat. So let's get ready for our next sign. Coming up is our Cancers. Yes. Let's see what we've got for Cancer on this day of the Wren. So Cancer, this is going to be a reading all about what the Wren spirit inspires, which is to use whatever our gifts, our giftings, whatever our voices, whatever our talents are, because that's what the Wren is about. It's about not always being the biggest or strongest, but knowing what your particular gifts are, using your mind, using your skill, using your cunning to affect the best outcomes for yourself. So we are going to get into those messages for you. Let's start out with a Druid animal oracle on this. Spirit, please, for Cancer. What do you have for them on this day of the Wren? And look at that. I think that's very, very fortunate to have the bull come out because, like we talked about, the Wren is associated with the Druidic god Tyrannus, which is associated with the bull spirit. And so to me, this is a lot of strong, grounded, earthy energy. It's also that lightning energy, like we read about. So here for the bull, we have wealth, potency, beneficence. Ooh, yes. I'm going to read just a little bit more out of this directly from the book that comes with this, because I love this. I love this energy. We go into number 90 for our bull spirit. This could also, this is for Cancer, but a lot of Taurus folks might also take some energy from this because of this coming through. If you're a Cancer with some Taurus in your chart or vice versa, that could have a lot to do with it. The influence, of Tyrannus, the Jupiter-like god of the Druids, whose beneficence and expansiveness can bring you the opportunity for a rich, abundant life. The bull is a symbol of wealth, as it is auspicious to draw this card when considering financial choices. The ancient ones were wise enough to understand that true wealth is to be found in the heart and the soul first, and only then in the material world. The bull represents fertility, potency, abundance, prosperity, but these things can sometimes take a while to achieve if you need to work steadfastly in trying circumstances for a period of time in order to achieve your goals. The bull will help you do this without becoming drained or depressed. Oh, I love that. All right, guys, so that is, that brings up that element of consistency, stability. This could be definitely what the Wren is. She doesn't like to be pushed, Cam. So that is absolutely it. So let's get into your tarot. Let's see what we have. Oh, for Cancer on this beautiful day. Even though it's a cold day, it's a good day. I think all my little Wrens outside are safely nested up. They blow my mind that they're able to survive through these cold temps, but they do it. They do it. Birds are incredible. So Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. What does the Wren have for you in your progression here of using your talents and gifts? Ooh, I like it. Yes, 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 yes. Queen of Pentacles energy is the first card coming out of here. Yes, she has her little bunny rabbit there in the corner because, again, interesting, you know, the bull is about that fertility and prosperity. Rabbits are also about fertility and prosperity. So I would say, Cancer, that your ideas are very fertile. Your ideas are good ones, right? Don't ignore them. Pay attention to those intuitions that you have. Queen of Pentacles is a beautiful card. It is Taurus energy as well, Virgo, Capricorn. It's very much seated on that throne of understanding prosperity, abundance, how to manage your financial situation to the best effect. It's somebody that's good with their money, knows how to make choices with their resources, and knows how to create more abundance when and if they need it. So I really like that coming out. To me, you know, this reading feels like it's dealing a lot with, like, you may be thinking, well, how do I make money? How do I affect that? How do I, you know, get more of what I want? And sometimes, you know, I mean, this is, you know, the Wren spirit is about work smarter, not harder. You know, use more of your mind. Don't kill yourself getting there. Don't destroy yourself in the process of getting there. You do have several options here, Cancer, with the Seven of Cups coming up. So you may want to take a little time to investigate. I like the way the art is done in this particular card, right? It's like we've got victory over here. We got a snake over here. We got the, you know, the gemstones over there. We got a skull here, we got the heart there. So it's like you've got to decide which one of these calls to your higher mind and your higher vibration. What really makes your heart happy? What makes your heart sing? And here you go. So for all of my Cancers that have been working a little bit too hard out there, we have got this Four of Swords coming up. So Cancer, the Wren is also reminding you through this reading to take time out, to don't burn the candle at both ends. You need rest, you need relaxation, you need time to unwind. You need time to not stress yourself out mentally and physically so much. Yes. So let's get into your Hero's Journey Oracle message. This is great. It's like you have the strength, you have the ability. Don't worry about that. You're going to be fine. But you do need to take some breaks. You absolutely need to take some downtime here and there. Investigate your options. But definitely, I mean, you're balanced. You're grounded in this reading. Those are kind of your gifts here, coming through from the Wren spirit today. There you go. Discover your superpower. That's what this is about. So for all my Cancers out there, yes, access 100% of your mojo, of your vitality, of your creative spirit, because that's what's going to really get you to a better place. It really will. I really feel like the Wren is saying, look, you've got more talents and more ability than you may be accessing. You might be living at like 50%. We want you living at 100%. Yes, turn that light up. Turn it up, Cancer. It's okay to work hard, but you've also got to take some rest, some relaxation, because you are in that Queen of Pentacles, you are in that Taurus energy. It's very nice, it's very earthy, it's very determined, but you do have a lot of options, and you don't want to miss something good in the process. Yeah. You don't be working so hard that you don't see any of the other things that you could be doing with your time and energy. That's what it feels. Yeah. Hey, Amber, good to see you in the chat, my darling. I don't know where our other Scorpion is. I don't know where Miss Jacqueline is tonight. I know she's back at work. Our little Scorpion is back at work, so she's been working it. She's been needing more naps these days. Yes, yeah, very busy. Yeah, I hear ya. Well, thank you for being there. Yu-Yi, yay, you're in the chat too. Awesome. Well, I was glad to have Amber and Yu-Yi just join the chat. Yay. So we've got some Scorpio and Libra energy in the house. Daisy, my Pisces. Hair raising, my Sagittarius. Fry King was in here a little bit ago too. He's a great Saggy as well. Ms. Mindful, my Aquarius queen. Absolutely. Moonchild, my Aries. Ooh, yes. We got some good, powerful forces going on. And Krista, of course, my Capricorn sister is in here. Yeah, she is in here too. All right. Colin the Cancer, he's holding it down. I don't know where Bear is. That's his Cancer brother. We don't know where he's at tonight. He been going on in and out of hibernation. In and out of bear hibernation is where Bear has been. It's cold enough to hibernate. I'll tell you what, that's how I feel. I'm like, I don't want to get out of the bed today. It's warm. It's warm in the bed. And it's cold out there. All right, for my Leos, how are all my Leo folks? You know, I've been missing Lindsay Lioness. I haven't seen her in a minute. She's one of our favorite Leos here. Hilda, she's another Leo that we love, but I know we got some Leo moons and probably risings out there, so hope my Leos are doing great. Love my Leo family. Let's see what we've got for you today, Leo. This is going to be a special reading for our traditional day of the Wren. The Wren spirit is a very, very cunning and very feisty little bird. If you watch the beginning of this live stream, you'll get some really fun info all about the Wren and the history of the Wren. But these readings are made to access your personal giftings, your personal skills. Even if you feel like you're not always able to do huge things, it's really not about that. And that's what we learned from the Wren, is sometimes by just using your skill and your personal talent, you can affect great change. It actually reminds me of St. Therese, the little flower. She said, it's not great works, but little things, you know, done with great love. And that might be her. It might be attributed to another saint as well. But there's that thing about, it's not about, you know, doing huge things. It's about doing whatever you do with great love and great intention. So let's get into your personal reading for this, Leo, or your general reading, I should say, because this is for all the Leos. Let's see how you can best access those skills, those gifts, those talents, and what those might be coming through strongest for you at this time. Let's see what we've got for Leo. The Otter spirit is coming out. Oh, for my lions. I'm going to look it up to get even more info from the book. But yes, this is joy. It's playfulness. It's helpfulness. The Otter spirit is always very connected to their family group, to their partners, to their kids, to, you know, to everything. They fall asleep holding hands. I mean, they really don't like to be disconnected from each other. And so, Leo, I would say with that kind of energy, you're really learning about those deep connections, and some of what you're doing right now may be best achieved by doing it through your community, doing it with a group, doing it with a special partner. It's very, very sweet energy coming through with the Otter. I'm going to read just a little bit more about this from the Druid Animal book, because I love this book. So, yes, Dalran is the Gaelic name, the Irish name for otter. Invites us to play, to go with the flow of life, becoming a child again. Leo, you are the symbol of the childlike spirit. You really, really are. Allow yourself the freedom and pleasure of relaxing and letting go of your daily concerns. This could be prompting you to take a day or weekend out of your usual routine and do something purely for the fun of it. Your practical self may tell you can't afford the time, but deep down you know you need to take care of yourself to be of real value to others. Someone may be coming into your life who will show you how to play again. Something you may have forgotten as you accepted the responsibilities of growing up. Oh my God, I love this. So to me, Leo, this is a time where being able to access your talents, gifts, and skills is really intertwined with sort of letting go, going with the flow of life, embracing more love, embracing more connection with others, you know, not putting all of the stress on yourself, right? You know, not putting every single bit of it on yourself. I love too that in the distance, I dig these cards so much. We've got the salmon And the salmon is the symbol of knowledge and wisdom in the Celtic tradition. And we also have the harp, you know, carved into the rock right there. That's a symbol of music, the soul, artistry, creativity, which Leo, you are a super creative sign. So for some of you, this may also get into, you know, just embracing more of your own personal knowledge, wisdom that you haven't been always acting on as much, and also getting into your personal creativity with that symbol of the harp, you know, really expressing those beautiful talents that I know all of my Leos have. You'll never meet a Leo that doesn't have some darn talent. They're just that way. They have it. They really, truly do. So let's get 3 tarot cards on this for you. Let's deepen up those messages and see how you can best use this energy. Woo-hoo! Leo, I'm telling you, there's some kind of rebirth coming around for you. Here's the Judgment card. Pluto rulership has the little Pluto symbol on there. I love that artwork in this card. So this to me is that resurrection. It's a renewal. It's a regeneration. This is the higher vibration of the Death card in the tarot, because the Death card is the actual death, transition, transformation. The Judgment is the resurrection and the rebirth. So I feel, Leo, some old talent, some old skill that you have, an idea, an inspiration, an intuition that has lain dormant for a while is coming back to you in a bigger, better, more powerful way. And it's going to transform your life if you let it. Page of Cups is on here. So this is about you know, loving communication. I can speak of the English. Oh my goodness. So Leo, Page of Cups is about communication on that beautiful, intuitive, compassionate level. It's very kind. It's very loving. It's very forgiving. It's accepting of apologies, right? So, you know, it talked about people coming into your life that may help you with this, people from your past that may help you with this. I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. Somebody saying, hey, Leo, remember that old idea we wanted to work on? Remember that thing we wanted to do in the old days? And you go, oh my gosh, yeah, let's try that. And look what comes out at the end here, Leo, is our Ace of Pentacles. So your potential to manifest this on a real world level is very strong. This could be anything for you, Leo. This could be, you know, and it's something that I think begins from that spirit of playfulness, like we have in that otter spirit, right? That's what the Wren is telling us for you today. It is always about coming from the beginnings of it are kind of playful. It's not about like, well, I got to make a lot of money at this, or I've got to, you know, XYZ with this. It's like, no, I'm just going to do this. I forgot past. It's really healing my heart. It's giving me something to talk about that's really meaningful. And it manifests something amazing. And it could be, you know, something that ends up in financial gain, very possibly with the Ace of Pentacles. But whether it does or not, this is so much about, you know, prosperity, abundance of the spirit, the heart, the soul, all of it. It's great reading. I like it so much, Leo. Oh my gosh. Let's get a Hero's Journey Oracle message on this for you. Look at this. X marks the spot. Are you on a treasure quest here, Leo? Absolutely. You might be journeying to the treasure. See the love in disguise. So, Leo, you may be meeting somebody that you're like, there's no way that that could ever be a connection. And then, ba-boom. Or you might start, you know, a project or a creative, you know, pursuit that you kind of say, I'll do this, but I don't know where it's at. You know, I don't want to see. It's like, and then it. Nice read. Nice reading, guys. Go on that treasure. Go on that. This is becoming a kid again, Leo. That's what I feel. It's like becoming a kid again is in this message for you. And the more playful and the more fun you have and the more you enjoy the journey, the better the outcomes. Yeah. Mm, that's incredible. All right. Let's clear the energy out again. Yes, yes, yes. I always do that too, Daisy, whenever I'm watching somebody's live. Like the chat will lag or something and I'm behind and I'm like talking about things people were talking about half an hour and I'm like, oh, sorry. All right. Let's get into Virgo next. Oh my goodness. How are you doing, Virgo? Good earthy energy, Virgo. And you know, to me, Virgo, you are one of those signs that is all about the details. And on our day of the Wren, we are kind of celebrating those little details, those little gifts from Spirit that we don't always acknowledge and we don't always really understand that, you know, the things, the small stuff about us is what makes us truly great. Today is the traditional day of the Wren, so we are talking about you know, those skills, because the Wren is all about not using its brawn because it's a tiny little bird. It's about using its mind. It's about using its innate skills and whatever it is that it brings to the table to greatly affect change and get its desired outcome. So Virgo, we're going to be looking at that for you. What are your personal skills, your personal magic? What are things about you that you can capitalize on and use in the real world to get where you want to go or to change this world in a positive way? So let's see what our dear Wren Spirit is bringing through for Virgo today. And we have the dog. I love the dog. And this is kind of an obvious one, right, guys? It's about loyalty. It's about fidelity. It's about I will be with you no matter what. When other people have failed you, I will be the one that comes. Chinese lunar tradition. The dog is the equivalent of Libra in the Western signs. So I'm going to just turn to the page about the dog. I'm just going to read a little bit about him from the Druid Animal Oracle. Yes, so let's see what he says. Yeah, this is a deer hound. Oh yes, the dog star Sirius rises and sets with the sun in the hot days of July and August. Um, yeah, a deep connection between, we see the pool, you know, of water beside him because there's a deep connection between the dog and water. I love that. So Ku is the Gaelic for dog. Guidance and protection, and friend on your journey in both this life and the next. In Druid tradition, the dog is seen as the guardian of the mysteries. As such, he can be fierce, but if our intentions are good, then Ku will lead us over the threshold through the darkness and the waters, the unconscious, towards the shimmering realm of the goddess. The time has come when you need to act with the spirit of the dog to defend your values or protect that which you hold sacred. Faithfulness, trust, and loyalty are vital ingredients of close relationships, and the time may have come for you to focus on these qualities, to develop them gradually in yourself and appreciate them in others. So I would say that today, on the day of the Wren, what is coming through for you, Virgo, what's something very special about your particular skills, your particular abilities, is your faithfulness, your dedication, your protective energy and loyalty. Very, very nice. And for those of you wondering, Ku in Gaelic is spelled C-U with a little accent over the U. So let's see what we have in the Crow Tarot. Let's get 3 cards on this to get a little more, get a little deeper into this energy for you, Virgo. How to use your personal loyalties, your faithfulness, your dedication. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. Okay. So I would say here we come with the King of Swords, and we talked about there being a Libra connection with the dog spirit, right? So here we go. Queen of Swords is a Libra card. And to me, this is all about you detaching and letting go of anything that hasn't been, which have not demonstrated those qualities of loyalty, trust, dedication. You know, it's time to let that go. Likewise, this is also very much a strong warrior kind of queen. And so it can make you feel very fiercely devoted and very, very protective of the people in your life. And so if anybody's been treating them badly, you might be really stepping up to say, look, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help get, you know, all this negativity out of your life. I've got my sword. I've got my scales of justice. Let's go. I also am getting a very, very specific, yeah, they're just talking. It's a very specific message for some of those that might be in the legal profession. Some of my Virgos, yeah, could be lawyers or people that work in something legal. But that's a really strong energy as well, that you may be very fiercely loyal and very protective of that. Or if you're considering going to law school or you're in law school or something like that, something to do with the legal profession. It's really about protecting your clients, protecting who you're fighting for or working with. It's really strong, right? It's really strong energy coming through. And even if you're not, you know, in those actual professions or fields, this is something where you're really standing up to be that strong protective force. So Virgo, beautiful. I love that. I love that for you. Next, we have this Eight of Wands. So to me, using your voice, using your communication, getting very fired up about anything that's not fair or equal or balanced. Wow, I'm liking this energy. It's like, it's very protective. It's very strong. It feels like Lady Justice stepping in. Virgo, you are riding high on this energy. And that's what the run is bringing through, is your personal giftings, your personal skill set, and how to use it is by really standing strong, you know, staying strong in your convictions, not wavering about what you know to be right and just, and also communicating that very passionately, very strongly with that Eight of Wands, you know, really letting it go, because that Eight of Wands is fiery, passionate communication. It's rapid movement as well. Something could be moving very, very quickly in your life as you start to really step into the power of this Queen of Swords. And then right after that, look at that. We have our nine. We have our Nine of Wands. So Eight of Wands, Nine of Wands. Boom, boom. 1 and 2. Sitting right side by side together. So, you know, this is, to me, it can be that defensive energy. It can be very much like I'm standing up and I'm fighting for what I want, even through the difficult times. And it really reminds you, Virgo, after you've been through a cycle like this, take a little time, take a step back, because your defenses may really start to get raised big time. You might really be on guard, like ready to fight anybody that's trying to pull one over on you or anyone else that you know. Yeah, so at the end of the cycle, make sure to take a step back, lower the defenses, and relax. But this is very strong for those Virgos that, you know, your talents lie in the areas of loyalty, you know, truth, protectiveness, guardianship. Yeah, that's absolutely what this is about for you. Very, very strong. So let's get an oracle message for you from the hero's journey. Be reborn daily. Look at that. Wow. So Virgo, I feel like there's also just a lot of renewal. Let go of the past and breathe in your new incarnation. Ooh, like I said, at the end of this cycle especially, you're letting go of something old. And for those Virgos out there that this applies in more of a personal light, I would say that this is you as well, learning to have really good boundaries, identifying those that are loyal to you and you're loyal to, who have proven through themselves through the test of time, and letting go and cutting out, detaching from anyone or anything that has not been loyal or devoted or has prove themselves not to have integrity. You're being reborn through this process. It's beautiful. Thanks, Wren. The Wren was like, you gotta have this one. You gotta have this one, Virgo. Wow. Some strong energy for my Virgos in there. It really is. And yeah, Amber, you know, you got Venus in Virgo. You're gonna be feeling that one. You're gonna be feeling that one for sure. Wow. All right. Next sign up is going to be our Libras. Let's see what we got for Libra. Talking about law and order. That's a law and order sign right there, is our Libras. They are all about justice, fairness, balance, diplomacy. Check that action out. So Libra, I hope you are doing well and wonderful on this day of the Wren. Today is the 26th of December, which is the traditional Wren day. So we are working today with the Wren spirit. The Wren spirit is all about using your skill, using your mind, using your particular talents and gifts to affect the changes you want to see in the world and on a personal level. If you've been feeling a little bit confused or a little bit unclear about what your specific skills are or how to access all of your giftings and how best to use them, this reading is for you. So let's see what we have got coming in for our Libras. Love my cow spirit. Love her so much. One of my favorite cards in this deck. Oh my goodness. And the big thing that I love about this is that it has both. We have the cow and the bull, and the bull is the masculine side of that Taurus energy. The cow is the feminine side. So this is the more feminine side. This is nourishment, motherhood, and very strong goddess energy. Yeah, the cow is all about the goddess, the great mother. Let's read a little bit more about the cow spirit. This is really all about your personal energy and what you are embracing as your skills right now. So this card shows a Highland cow placidly standing beside the peaceful waters of a Scottish loch. In the foreground, we see cranberry and cowslip, and to the right, milkwort, field gentian. Bow. Bow is the cow in the Irish. Opens us up to the awareness of the goddess. Her generosity, healing, and nourishing power is present all around you, in your friends and children, your food, your drink, in your dreams, and the natural world. She brings protection from harmful influences, and by attuning to her presence, you gain an inestimable benefit of deep and peaceful sleep. Oh, that's good too. By opening yourself to Bo and her sacred quality as a manifestation of the goddess on earth, you will be connecting to the perpetual stream of nourishing energy that flows from the goddess to each one of us. To experience this, there's nothing you need to do. It's just about receiving. So this is a beautiful energy for you, Libra. I would say that this is telling you to embrace your spirit of nourishment, of creativity, of nurturing others and yourself. I really do love that energy and that power. To me, this is a blessing card for my Libras out there. So let's see what we've got in your tarot. What are some better ways? How are you gonna put this particular ability or skill to use? You may not have been totally aware that you are this super nurturing, beautiful goddess energy here on earth, Libra, but that's what's coming through very strongly about you right now. Oh my goodness, look at this. All right, we're starting out with our 10 of Swords. So to me, that is the end of a difficult, painful cycle. I feel with this coming through that this goddess energy, this nurturing energy, is very strongly healing you from this process. And you may be in the middle of that process of having that healing on that mental, intellectual level. In the center, look at this. It was in what we just read. There's nothing you need to do to access this energy. with the Four of Swords, this is all about not having to do anything. This is all about having that time to recover, to heal. Remember, our Four of Swords comes after our Three of Swords. So this is about healing from heartache, healing from disappointments, old pains and wounds, having been stabbed in the back, you know, again and again. So this to me is really saying, it's a time for healing. It's a time for nurturing. It's a time for growth. And Libra, the Wren, is reminding us on this special day that it is, you know, part of what you have as your gifts. You may not be accessing it all right now, but it's really opening your eyes and saying there's so much more to this than that. And so here we go. We have got the Four of Cups. So to me, what ends up happening after this recovery season, after this time of healing and growth, is you make a decision to start really living life more to the fullest. Because to me, the Four of Cups is always about not living our life to the fullest, right? It's sort of like we've been sitting around waiting for the right time, the right person, the right situation, etc., to come along and give us, you know, the green light or the permission to go ahead and start living to the fullest. And it's not really a good place to be, right? It's like this is saying that after you do this heart healing, after you do this work, it's going to be time to get out from under that tree and really stop waiting for some magical, weird moment, right? It's like, don't worry about that. Create that magic moment yourself, Libra. Don't wait for someone to give you the green light. Make your own green light here. But you do need some healing. You do need some time to reflect. And that's why this cow spirit, this goddess energy is coming through, because she is ultra nurturing, extremely protective and healing, and you can give yourself that on a deep level, Libra. So let's see what we have in our oracle messages for you. Like that. Never a crowd on the leading edge. Honor those who honor you. Oh my goodness. Libra, to me, this is telling me so much about where you're at right now and how best to use some of your personal gifts. This is really that equal give and take. It's equal reciprocity. It feels like that Six of Pentacles card for me, which also feels very Libran because it has that scale action in there. This is really saying, you know, if somebody doesn't nurture, love, and honor you, don't give it back to them just because, right? And I know that's a little tough because my Libras, y'all are so sweet and loving and giving, and you're great friends, you're great partners. You give a lot. You give a lot. Sometimes even when that person doesn't really deserve it. But this is time to use the power of your scales. Use the power of your understanding of balance and fairness and equilibrium, because if they're not honoring you and putting you first sometimes, and you continuously put them first all the time, that's not something you need in your life. The next card out of that Crow Tarot, I just had to look, you know, was that Ten of Wands. You had Ten of Swords and Ten of Wands. So to me, this is all about those old burdensome cycles coming to an end. It's time to nurture you. It's time to honor that goddess inside of yourself, no matter whether you align as divine feminine or masculine. This is very much a time of healing for you. And you do have gifts of healing. You really, really do. You do have gifts of healing. That's what Wren is telling you today, because we're asking him to give us insights about our personal giftings. And so Libra, you're much more nurturing than you know. You really are. So beautiful read. Beautiful read. Stand up. Stand up for yourself. There's a little bit of Virgo in there too. You know, Virgo had a very strong message with a lot of Libra energy. So any of my Virgos that have Libra in their chart, or vice versa for Virgos that have, you know, Libra, it's, yeah, feeling a very similar symbiotic energy or connection between you two on that. That's right, Yu Yi. That's right. I know, and we know it when we feel it, you know. Our intuition doesn't steer us wrong. If you're questioning, you know, are they really like being, you know, respectful of me? Are they honoring my time and energy? You know if they are or not. You don't even have to really question it. Just listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. You'll know. You'll know who deserves your time and your energy and your heart. You'll know. You will. Just listen. Just listen. Glad to see Fry King back in the chat. Good to see you. Yes, Ms. Mindful. That's right. You are a Libra moon, right? Yeah, that's right. You feeling that one. That's nice. Yes, that's very nice. Love that air sign sun moon trine. That's really positive. Very nice energy. All right, we're just going to go ahead and tap these cards with some selenite. Gonna get them all charged up for our next sign, which is Scorpio. Ooh, my Scorpios. Check it out. Yay, Amber's here representing for us Scorpio family in the house. Wow, Scorpio, I can't wait to see what comes out for this. We are doing special readings. And oh, Laura Z, you're a Scorpio too. Yay. I'm glad to see my Scorpios in there in the chat. So today is the traditional Celtic day of the Wren. The Wren is our little snarky bird spirit right here. He's considered the king of the birds for his cunning, for his skill, and agility. So this is all about our gifts, our talents, our giftings. The Wren is very much that energy of, even though you're small, even though you may not seem like the strongest, the fastest, whatever it is, you know, we all have our gifts, we all have our talents, and this is very much about tapping into whatever it is that makes us great, even if we don't think it's like some huge thing. Sometimes the subtlety, it's the details, it's the little stuff that makes us really powerful. So Scorpio, this is all about that. This is about your particular talents, giftings, how you're using them, things you may need to be aware of that you have in your skill set. So let's see what we've got from the inspiration of the Wren to our Scorpios here. Scorpio, you are coming through with our bull spirit again. So, you know, it's funny. Libra had the cow, the feminine example of the bull, and you've got the bull, which is the divine masculine side of this. So, this is all about fertility, sovereignty, rulership, leadership, personal power, groundedness, being very protective of you and yours. It's also a connection to me, of course, to Taurus energy, because we are talking about the bull. So this could be dealing as well with your money, with your finance. Yes, we can read a little bit more about the bull. We did that earlier, but I'll do it again. Yeah, wealth, potency, beneficence. There's more in here, so we can get a little deeper. Why not? Why not? Why not? The tradition of the bull. Yeah, the Celtic inhabitants of Britain were cattle people. Cattle were central to their economy and way of life, and it was an indicator of wealth. The bull in particular became associated with the concept of wealth, indicating power, prosperity, and fertility. The bull frequently appeared on Celtic coins, and a trace of its early association with prosperity lingers in our term of a bull market to describe a rising stock market. The further link with prosperity comes from the bull association with the Celtic god Tyrannus, a god of thunder and lightning, oak trees, the wheel of the seasons and stars, and our Wren spirit. So you really are pulling in a lot of that Wren energy. So, you know, this is a sacred animal, absolutely. You know, it goes back a long, long time ago, guys. Although a bull is most clearly an earth animal, his horns form the shape of that crescent moon. And so it points to the sky, connecting him to the stars. And the horns, even today, are used, you know, as ceremonial drinking cups in ritual. So, you know, there is that connection. Interestingly enough, Taurus is a really easy constellation to find. If you can find Orion, Orion is a very, very obvious star constellation. It has the 3 stars in the middle of the belt and the 4 points in the sky. If you go like from this perspective, if I'm looking at Orion and I go off the top right shoulder with my right hand, go up just a little bit, you will see the constellation of Taurus. The main part of it is a V that's a little bit dimmer stars, but the easiest way to spot them is the red star Aldebaran, which is the eye of the bull. So you'll see this V, and within that V there's going to be a brightish reddish star called Aldebaran that is the eye of the bull. So that's just something fun for you. So Scorpio, to me, this is telling me that the Wren is making you very aware of your giftings of stability, your ability to create prosperity, your ability to really stand your ground, because I think of the bull as very territorial. It's like, don't mess with me, don't mess with my stuff. All right, that's very much what Scorpio's energy is coming through as. And because of that connection with the moon and the intuition, I also say that it's a good way to use your intuition on how you're building that, how you're growing that. Let's get into your tarot. Let's get some more messages on this for Scorpio, please. Let's get 3. Oh my goodness. Okay, Scorpio. There's a lot of love in the air. You got the Lovers card coming through. So this could be very strongly associated with a partner or a potential partner or a love interest. There could be something that you're really kind of mulling over, deciding on, feeling it out. Communication is very key with our Lovers card because it is a Gemini ruled card. So it is speaking from the heart, speaking from the mind, speaking your truth, being very open and communicative in all of your relationships. So very, very nice energy, especially because when I think of love, I think of Venus, and Venus does rule Taurus, which goes back to that bull card that you pulled. On the center, we do have this 5 of Swords. So to me, this is a stand up and fight or walk away kind of energy. It definitely shows that you are walking away from anybody who doesn't use their power in a good way. It also reminds you to use your powers for good, Scorpio, because you are a very powerful sign. You are the most powerful sign of the zodiac. And so this is really telling you, don't give in to any darker inclinations. Don't go there, Scorpio. Stay above board. Stay, to your personal integrity. And don't entertain people that are willing to win at all costs or step on people to get where they want to go. Because to me, with that bull energy coming in, this is so much about money. It's so much about resources. It's your personal work and personal efforts. And so, I think the spirit of the Wren today, on our Wren Day, is really saying, Scorpio, you have more ability to create prosperity, abundance, wealth, sovereignty than you may even realize. And you don't want to give away any of that energy or any of that resource to people who would not do you right. Yeah. Outcome card is our Page of Wands. So to me, I do feel like there's a renewal here because the Page of Wands is very much about joy returning, vitality returning, life, energy, light, fire energy here, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more enjoyable of an energy. So to me, you're stepping out of a very heavy little cycle, a little period of time where you really work through some heavy things. And then, wow, there's that burst of spring. There's that burst of new life and new renewal coming back into the picture. So Scorpio, very interesting energy there. Yeah. You have a lot of ability to manifest prosperity, abundance, groundedness, stability. I wouldn't entertain anyone who doesn't give you the same. Those of you who are in a partnership, you're really looking to create more of that between you. And I think that anyone you may be dating right now, if you're, dating different people, getting to know different people, Scorpio, it's really about finding someone that has stability around them. Are they able to provide? It's not like you're looking for someone to prop you up. You can do that just fine by yourself, but you don't want to be put in that position where you've got to support someone else solely, right? It's like there needs to be equality. There needs to be balance between these two individuals. So let's get an oracle card on this because we want you happy. We want you happy at the end of the day with all this, Scorpio, with that Page of Wands. Yes. Say yes to your higher calling. Scorpio, what did I say? Go above, go beyond. Do not get drugged down in someone else's drama or their head games. Or, you know, Scorpio, you're a sign that has a laser-like ability to see through things. No one else might see what this person is doing or what this organization or group is doing, but you might see them really for what they are, and you know that they're doing things that aren't above board or outright illegal, and you're just like, no, I'm walking away from that. Say yes to your higher calling. Say yes to your higher energy. Be a human exclamation point. Oh my goodness. A human exclamation mark, Scorpio. It's like when you walk into the room, it's like, wow, Scorpio's here. Boom. Turn it up. That is awesome. I like this. This is a very dynamic reading for you on this day of the Wren. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh my goodness. Scorpio. Scorpio. All right, let's see what we've got for our next sign. Is gonna be our amazing Sagittarians. I know we've got Sagittarius in the house. We got Harry's in here. We got Fry King here. We got some good Sagittarian party animals going down. So Sagittarius, this is our day of the Wren. Traditionally, December 26th is our day of the Wren. That is, you know, a very interesting day. If you missed the earlier part of this live stream, go back and watch it. We talk all about the history of the Wren. But the power of the Wren spirit is, you know, it's quite multifaceted. But the big thing that we're really pulling into today is your particular skills, your particular talents, because the Wren is all about using the mind, using your skill, your agility, even if you aren't always the strongest, the biggest, the smartest, the fastest, whatever it is. This is really using your particular skills, your particular mindset, and your own intellect to affect great change in the outrun. So let's see what we have for you, Sagittarius. Let's see what our Wren spirit is inspiring us with, what talents are good for you to be using, things that you may not have used in a while or may not even be completely aware of. Please show us Sagittarius today. One of my favorites. This is actually, I have a tattoo of a swan on my left shoulder. So Sagittarius, the swan spirit is coming through big time for you. I love the swan because the swan is associated with music. It's associated with love, with beauty, with creativity, digging deep into the soul, right? That's where the music comes from. So let's look a little bit deeper. I'm going to look in here. We've got, yeah, soul, love, beauty. That's a beautiful energy coming from the swan. So let's look into a little bit more. I'm going to read from the book itself, our Druid Animal Oracle. So here we go. This card depicts a scene from the Irish tale, The Dream of Angus. In the foreground is the lake where a beautiful girl, I'll try to spell that one, Care Iborme Ewberry, changes into a swan every other year at the time of Samhain. To win her, Angus, the god of love, becomes a swan, and they both fly to his house, Brunaboyne, known as Newgrange, and pictured on the horizon. As with many swans that appear in the old tales, there is a gold necklace around her neck. Yes. So Yala is the way you say swan in Irish. and that brings us the qualities of the soul, love and depth, grace and beauty. Being associated with the Druid festival time of Samhain, the swan is also a bird of the threshold and represents that part of us which can travel into the other world. Drawing this card may indicate you will receive inspiration from the other world or that love is entering into your life. It is auspicious to draw this card if you're preparing to write a song or poem, for the swan's skin and feathers were used to make the bard's ceremonial cloak, the tugen. Wow. There's so many things about the swans. Oh my goodness, you could read swan lore forever. It's this big reason why I chose that, to be a big symbol for me personally in life. So I would say Sagittarius, this is beautiful, and it's kind of interesting. You and Aries both had a very, what I would consider a more graceful, feminine, more ethereal kind of animal for your energy, which I think is great because you're fire signs, and sometimes that can be sort of aggressive and, go-getter and kind of a punch in the face kind of feeling. And so this is reminding you, the Wren is really coming through and saying, use more of your softer side, use more of that feminine side. Use your magic, your poetry, your music, your magic, to connect with others on that deeper level. Like it said, there's that real connection between the swan and the other world. So, it's just like really accessing as well, that more intuitive side of yourself, Sagittarius. So, this is really using your love, using your beauty, using your spirit of creating beauty or art or music, whatever that may be for you. It's a really beautiful kind of thing. And so Sagittarius as well, if you have love entering your life or it has recently entered your life, to me it just means it's getting stronger. And so, use all of your heart, use all of your soul, right? That's what the Wren is advising for your particular skill set during this time. So let's get into your tarot. Let's see what comes up for our Sagittarius folks. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So we've got the Magician coming through as your first card here. That is our Gemini Virgo energy. So it is very much about the mind. And I love this because in a particular reading like this where we're talking about using all your talents and gifts and skills, the Magician is absolutely the energy or the archetype of the tarot that brings all of its skills and talents to the table. Brings its intellect, its heart, its emotions, its vitality, its resources, and it wants to create a new reality. So, Sagittarius, if love has been difficult or it's been non-existent for a long time, as we get into that, or if you have been feeling like maybe you have artistic leanings or you really want to create something beautiful and new in the world and it hasn't been quite happening, it's time to embrace the energy of the Magician. Change your reality, shift the focus. Look at the Fool card coming in next. So to me, this is about innocence. It's about rebirth. It's so much about taking the leap of faith, right? It's really about having that sort of mindset that says, you know what, I'm not going to, determine the ending before I get there. I'm not going to be cynical or jaded about it. I'm just going to take the leap. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, this'll fail anyway. Why am I even trying? It's really letting go of that and embracing that childlike innocence and taking the leap into something new. And on our outcome, check it out. We have got our Queen of Pentacles here, Sagittarius. So to me, whenever we get a strong Pentacle card like that, to me, this is something that can be very powerfully manifested. We have our little bunny rabbit hanging out in the corner there. So to me, she is a queen of manifestation, someone who knows how to use their resources well and use their personal resources, whatever those may be, to the best effect. So stay grounded, stay focused, stay centered. This looks like a really good outcome to me. This could involve an earth sign. We've got Taurus, we've got Virgo and Capricorn on this card. The Fool card, we have Mars, so we have some Aries and Aquarius energy. And of course, with our Magician, we have Virgo and Gemini. So we have some really strong signs represented within there too. But I really do feel like with the newness of the Fool card and the Magician, it's like you're really shifting your reality and kind of changing your expectations of what comes next, right? It's like we've all gone through that. We all get to that place where we're like, oh, this has failed, that has failed, nothing could ever work out. Or, you know, it's like we meet someone and we think maybe there's something there, and then we're like, it's like we sabotage it before we even give it a chance. And so that's very much what I feel about this. Don't sabotage your own creative process, because the Swan is all about creativity, an expression of, you know, beauty and art and music and whatever your creative outlets are. It could be anything. It could be cooking, painting, photography, writing, whatever that is. Don't sabotage your process, and also don't sabotage your love life, because that is very much part of the Swan as well. Ooh, stay open, stay open, stay aware, stay in that innocence of mind, right? It's like that Carrie Fisher, our Princess Leia, used to say, be afraid and do it anyway, right? Doesn't matter if we're afraid, do it anyway. All right, let's get a message from our oracle here, our hero's journey for you. Look at this. Stop and take in the view. Ooh, Sagittarius, you are a world traveler. Sometimes you do just need to stop and just enjoy and receive and take it in and appreciate it. Take stock of the treasures you have earned. So this is also reminding you to come from a place of gratitude, right? Come from a place of gratitude. Remember, you have more ability, more skill, and more to give than you may realize, right? This is really that kind of like nice little rest stop in the road where it's like, let me sit here and enjoy this sunset. Let me sit here and enjoy this view. I like this. All right. Okay, guys. Yee. Yeah, light it up. That's right. Love it for you, Amber. I know you're a Sag rising. Yes. Got some good Saggies in this house. We do. We do. We do. It's the softer side of Sagittarius. That's what came through this reading. You're welcome, Fry King. Thanks for joining us as always. All right, we know who comes next. We know who comes next. Capricorn. Capricorn. Working that mountain, Capricorn. Oh, why are you working so hard? Why are you working so hard, Capricorn? Capricorn says, I have a date with destiny right up there, and I can't stop. I gotta keep going, because I got a date with the destiny right up there. I gotta stay on my schedule. Oh my goodness. All right, Capricorn, let's see what we've got for you. Oh my goodness, today is the traditional day of the Wren. Capricorns like traditional things, by the way. Capricorns love tradition. That's probably why I like this old history and stuff, because I'm a Capricorn, so I like digging into it. So the Wren spirit in tradition is all about using your skill, using your particular gifts and talents. Capricorn, you have lots of gifts and talents. Sometimes the thing that's the hardest for Capricorn is just choosing which one of the things you're going to do, because there's all sorts of things. Capricorn's very ambitious. They have all kinds of stuff they like to get into. Guilty as charged. I do that all the time. Sometimes we bite off a little more than we can chew. Never done that. Oh yeah, I've done that. So yes, Capricorn, this is going to be a reading inspired by our spirit of the Wren, and, you know, really kind of shining a light on what particular skills or abilities are best for you to use. What are the best things that you can use right now to help manifest things, to help move things forward? you know, you can take this for right now, or you can take this as a timeless reading to just refer back to anytime you feel like you get stuck, because this is going to be very interesting. I can't wait to see what comes out for you. You know, the Wren is considered the king of the birds, not because he's the smartest, the fastest, or any of that, but he used his cleverness. He used his skill and his wits to become the king of the birds. So it's not about who's got the most, you know, physical power or strength, etc. It's really about who just knows their particular gifts and uses them to their best advantage. So let's see what we have. Dear Wren Spirit, for our Capricorns in the house, please. It's our otter spirit, guys. Oh, I love this for Capricorn because the otter is all about playfulness, joy, taking it easy. Don't push so hard, Capricorn. We talked about we work too hard a lot of the time. And so the otter is very much about playfulness. It is going with the flow, loving what you're doing, loving who you're with. It is a big companionship animal, so it is very much about, you know, really connecting to your friends, your loved ones, your romantic partner, whoever it may be that you feel that love and support with. And I'm going to read just a little bit extra out of this passage from the Druid Animal Oracle about the tradition of the otter. So yes, it is about becoming childlike again. Capricorn, if your world has become a little too serious, a little too heavy, you know, it says your practical self may tell you can't afford to take the time to do something for fun, but deep down you know that you need to take care of yourself to be of real value to others. You know, this is time to learn to play again. Dobran is the name for the otter in the Gaelic. Shows us by being playful can even lead to catching the salmon. There's the salmon in the distance. The fish prized by the Druids as the totem of wisdom. Drawing this card also confirms in us a sense that we are truly protected. Yeah, strong sense of family. It's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Ooh, there's so much in here, guys. You should get this deck. Because there is a lot about it. The otter is the friend and protector, right? And to me, there's also that thing about, you know, the otter goes after the fish. So it's that, you know, hunting down what you want to be attracting into your life. Otter skin was considered magical, worn as a charm against drowning. It would keep harps dry, made into carrying bags. Oh my goodness, I need that with my harps. It's interesting because I do play the harp, and it has the harp, you know, carved into the side of the rock. So to me, it's like there is that connection with beauty, with joy, with music, and with self-expression of the soul. So Capricorn, this is a time when I would say use your joy, use your playfulness. Don't be so harsh. Don't be so heavy on yourself, right? That's important too, because boy, Capricorns, we get heavy on ourselves. We get critical of ourselves. We get very demanding. We want things done in a specific schedule or time frame. And the otter is saying, hey, Capricorn, come play with me. You know, Capricorn is the symbol of the goat with the fishtail too, so it's time to put on our fishtail and go swimming with the otter. That's right. So yeah, Capricorn, it's time to lighten up, loosen up, have more fun in the process, and enjoy the daily process. That's best way to go, is have a more lighthearted approach. I think when you're, and I would absolutely agree with this, even though I'm a Capricorn, very serious, I think when you're having fun and you're enjoying what you're doing, it's like it's yeah, to me it's when I'm doing this work with you guys, it is work, there's no doubt, there's effort to it. My back hurts at the end, right? It definitely is work, but it's also something I'm passionate about, something I enjoy. So therefore, it's work that's very enjoyable and very soul fulfilling, right? Yeah. If you work at a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life. That's a That's some Aquarius wisdom right there from an old Dr. Denmark. She was an Aquarius doctor. She was born in 1898. She was my first doctor as a child, and she lived to be 114. And she said that to me. She said, I love what I do. If you find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life. So there you go, Capricorn. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Yeah, Dr. Leela Denmark, she was the second woman to graduate medical school in the state of Georgia. She's a really interesting person. So let's get into our tarot for you, Capricorn. I'm using the Crow Tarot today. Let's get 3 cards on this for Capricorn. What's the best way to use this otter spirit energy of playfulness and love and harmony? Let's see what we've got for you. Yes, Capricorn. Oh my goodness, check this out. We've got that 4 of Swords. So what did we say? We need, Capricorn, you need a break today. You need a break today. Definitely time to rest, reflect, relax. It's been a long year. It's been a tough year. It is Capricorn season, so no doubt you've been already working quite hard, Capricorn. So it is time to kick it. That's what she said. It's definitely time to rest, relax, go with the flow. Don't push yourself so hard. Don't be so hard on yourself. Do what feels good. Do what feels good. Rest and recovery is very important with that 4 of Swords, because that's the card that comes after that 3 of Swords. Capricorn, if you've experienced any heartbreaks, challenges, things that have been disappointing, things that you need in the center, card coming through. So I do feel, Capricorn, after you get that rest and relaxation, you will be back in the swing, you'll be back in the flow, you'll be ready to go new places, try new things, and you will feel much more balanced and centered, because the Chariot is about balance. You know, we have that dark side and the light side coming through, and so it really is about learning from past experiences, learning from the way that we have directed our emotions in the past. And so to me, it's really taking you forward in a very strong way. The Chariot is also our Cancer rulership. So we have our moon, our lunar energy there. It is about learning. It is about progressing. It can be about travel. So you may start to feel that after a period of rest, relaxation, recovery, you're ready to start moving and things start to come out of stagnation. You're ready to hopefully travel again soon, because yeah, us Capricorns, we would like to travel again at some point. And look at the outcome though, Capricorn, absolutely stunning. We have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is that beautiful hand of spirit coming in with emotional and spiritual blessings for you. Absolutely overflowing with happiness, greater love, greater harmony. I do feel that this is, you know, by proxy, it's nice on the emotions, this nice on the love read part, because it's really, you know, the otter spirit is all about that water energy as well, right? It's very much about that flow. And to me, the Ace of Cups is about that flow of spirit coming in. A lot of water energy on this. So I do feel, Capricorn, if the earth has been a little dry for you lately, if it's been feeling like, oh, when is the darn rain gonna come and start renewing me, that's what's on the way with this, right? And it's very, very much about, you know, not being so hard on ourselves, not being so heavy on ourselves, really embracing more fun, more lightheartedness. Let's get a Hero's Journey Oracle message on this. I feel like, Capricorn, you're learning so much, because the Chariot is a card of learning. It's a card of victory too. It's a card of absolute victory and success, and beginning to move past things that have held you back. Change of the home too, could be a change of the home. Oh my gosh, this one flipped out, Capricorn. Okay, there's these two both flipped out as I was shuffling. The first one is me time. Enjoy your own company. That is great. It's perfect. So yes, that's what this four of Four of Swords. Look at that bird all flipped over. He's like, I'm just gonna chill. I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna relax. Capricorn, it is just time to do you. Enjoy your own space. Enjoy your own company. The only people that get to hang out with you are the ones that are life affirming and aren't treating you bad. That's it. So enjoy your own company. And the second one that came out was There's No Place Like Home. So Capricorn, you're having me time at home. You're just chilling it out. Nestle into the sweetness. Oh my gosh. Capricorn, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful read from my goats. Oh my gosh. I love it. Big blessings. Big blessings of the heart coming through with that Ace of Cups. So yeah. Go with the flow, goaties. Shut off some of that heavier, more serious energy. Not everything has to be about work. I know, isn't that amazing? It's not always about work. Oh, more home time, more me time. Oh, that sounds so good. Yes, it does. All right, so let's get into our next sign. That's going to be Aquarius. Aquarius, yes, all of our Aquarius in the house. I hope you are doing wonderful. This is going to be a reading that is all about the energy of the Wren spirit. Today is our traditional day of the Wren, December 26th. The Wren spirit is very much about our special talents, our skills, our giftings, not having to be always the smartest, the fastest, the best, anything. Oh, thank you so much for that blessing, Krista. I appreciate you. But this is all about using your unique talents and skills and abilities. Aquarius, you are a sign of uniqueness, of unconventional ability and talent, and many times you are ahead of your time because you are a futuristic sign. There are things that you perceive, see, and know that are coming before everyone else knows them. So I'm sure you understand how that works. So this is going to be just a little heads up from our beautiful Wren today to give us some ideas about what you need to embrace in order to capitalize the best on your skills, on your particular talents, anything that you may need to be aware of, because sometimes we forget about what makes us awesome. So let's see what we have for you today, Aquarius. Aquarius, we have the cow spirit coming through for you today as well. Look at that. What was our other sign that had this? Was it, oh, I can't remember. Terrible. But we had another sign pull, the cow spirit, and cow is all about the goddess. It's about nurturing, nourishment, healing yourself and others. Bo is the name for the cow, and I love this deck because we have both the cow and the bull. We have the divine masculine and the divine feminine. The bull came out twice today and the cow came out twice today. So Aquarius, this is your skills of nurturing, of healing, of the divine goddess energy that is expressed through you. So I do feel that you don't always understand because, you know, Aquarius, you are an air sign and many times you are considered, or, you know, I think sometimes quite unfairly considered to be a cold sign, an emotionally cold sign, because you many times detach from those, you know, kind of warmer, messier, mushier emotions because you're trying to process it through the aspect of the mind. And that's why Aquarius many times gets called emotionally distant or cold or detached, because Aquarius, you are is the symbol of emotion. And so Aquarius is pouring out the emotion, the care, the humanitarian aid to the rest of the world. They're not sticking their hands in the emotion, right? They're not getting all up in it. They're giving out that care and that aid to others. So this is really, really very caring, very nurturing and nourishing spirit, not just on a personal level, but also on a universal level, because Aquarius is the sign of the mass consciousness. So you do have that understanding of the whole world at large. So Aquarius, to me, with the cow energy coming through, this is very warm. This is very loving. This is very nourishing. This is that direct energy from the earth goddess, from the earth mother. And so I do feel And like we talked about, with the bull energy, the horns in that curve of like the moon crescent, right? There's an association with the moon and the subconscious as well, pointing to the stars. It's like, even though they're very earthy, it's like those horns point to the stars and that celestial connection. So I really, really love this energy for you. To me, it reminds you, Aquarius, don't be afraid to be a little warmer. Don't be afraid to be a little mushier and a little squishier in your emotions. Don't be worried. It's like, it's going to be fine if you're not always, intellectually processing things, or if things don't always make logical, rational sense, right? So, Aquarius, use your emotions, use your love, use your warm, nourishing, nurturing heart. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And it's something that you do have as part of your skill set that the Wren is reminding you of. So bring it on through. Bring it on through, guys. Let's see what we have for you in the tarot. I'm going to be using our Crow Tarot today in honor of the birds. And let's see what we have. 3 on this for Aquarius, please. Oh my goodness, I love it for you. We're starting out with our Ace of Swords. So Aquarius, you're starting out with a very positive, powerful card of victory, success, mental clarity, understanding, consciousness being opened. To me, this is, of course, one of the nicest cards of the sword suit, because most of the swords are kind of difficult because they deal with the mind. They deal with the intellect. And so to me, this is really piercing the veil and seeing what's coming through on a very, very clear level. I always feel the presence as well of Archangel Michael with that Ace of Swords, because this is a protective spirit that really reminds you that you're protected as well, Aquarius. So you're coming from a strong place, a very strong place of victory, success, and greater optimism. And this is your personal energy, because it is that air energy. Next up, Page of Swords. So this, again, more swords energy, more air element. It is a youthful energy here. So Page of Swords is all about messages. Pages are messengers. And so we're bringing through new ideas, new epiphanies, new awarenesses, new ideas that might be really hitting you at this time. I do feel that there's the more positive association of this connection. Sometimes our Page of Swords can be a little gossipy, sometimes it can be a little bit of a spy card, but in this position, with this Ace of Swords going before it, I feel like the way is being cleared for new ideas, new manifestations, new growth. That cow spirit is all about growth and manifestation and nurturing something into being. So don't be afraid of those new ideas and new information that be coming your way. Look what we have as our outcome. Check it out. High Priestess. We talked about that curve, of the cow's horns, right? And so here we have, again, that lunar connection. High Priestess is a moon goddess. She is a lunar goddess. And so to me, this is using your intuition, your perception, and the mysteries of your soul to affect your outcomes, Aquarius. This is a beautiful reading. To me, it's very profound. Has a really nice energy to it, because I feel like your own skills and your energies are well expressed here through our Ace and our Page of Swords, and then you're getting that High Priestess that really helps you to kind of spiritually metabolize all of those thoughts, all of those ideas into a really beautiful, balanced place of spirituality and feminine expression. And you can feel that no matter whether you align as feminine or masculine. But with our cow spirit and our High Priestess, to me, that feels very feminine. It feels very receptive and reflective and intuitive. So let's get into a oracle card for you from the Hero's Journey deck. Let's see what we've got as your message on all this. Like that. Oh, and I think Libra might have had this as well. Check it out. Never a crowd on the leading edge. Honor those who honor you. Thank you for that blessing, Ms. Mindful. I appreciate you so much. But to me, it's like you don't go along with the crowd. Aquarius, very infrequently. You like to know what's going on with the crowd and the mass consciousness, but you are a sign of the individual, of the unique, authentic spirit. And so this is about honoring you, honoring the people that honor you. It's like if they don't give you time of day, if they don't appreciate your contribution or your particular vision, if they don't appreciate the unique, really awesome spirit that you are, they're not worth keeping around. They're really not. This is about equal give and take, equal reciprocity. That is beautiful. Aquarius, you guys, I love you guys. Like, I can't. Aquarius is a big sign in my life. It really is. Huge. Huge. I'm an Aquarius rising, Aquarius part of fortune. It's massive for me. I have progressed planets in Aquarius. My dad was an Aquarius. My honey is an Aquarius. I got the Aquarians all over. So I love that about y'all, is that you just are so, you don't give a crap what other people think. That's, I think, one of the best things about Aquarius. They just do what is true for them. They're like, look, I don't mind being called a weirdo, a rebel, misfit, outcast. It's all good with me, because they're doing what's true for them. And that speaks to my soul. That speaks to my soul, Aquarius. So this is great. And no problem with embracing that more nurturing side of yourself. Not at all. This is a good time to do it. This is a good time to do it. But do it with the people that really appreciate that, right? You know, the ones that are loyal and true and trustworthy and always there for you. Those are the ones to really connect with. Good reading. Good reading, Aquarius. Let's get into our sign that'll wrap us up and take us home. Is going to be Pisces. Yes, Pisces. Good to see my Pisces chicks. Oh, yes. Is that true, Daisy, about your Aquarius mom? Oh, my goodness. I had the Aquarius dad, and he definitely was that way. He was a total goofball. He didn't care at all. Like, he just did. He was such a square. I always joke, because like my dad, he was not trendy. He was not fashionable. He just did his thing. Like, he was him. He was him. He didn't care if people didn't think he was cool. He's like, I'm just me. That's a funny thing. A lot of people have this idea that Aquarius is always just super radical and always kind of crazy and sporting green hair or whatever. But no, some of them are just so much like my dad, just like Mr. Suit and Tie. And, you know, he reminded me a little bit of Mr. Rogers. I ain't gonna lie. He had that goofiness, that kind of simplicity, that very like, just kind of like not afraid to be silly, not afraid to be just, oh, my dad. I love him. I love him so much. Even though he's not in the 3D anymore. He's on the 5D. Oh my goodness. So much. Yeah. No, my dad in some ways seemed so straight-laced, but in some ways he was so unconventional, because he would just say things and you're like, you wouldn't expect it. You just wouldn't expect it from just this guy. Like, it's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, Aquarians, they do their own thing. Whatever feels right to them, they do it. And they don't worry about following trends or fashion or what's coming and going. They do them. And that was my dad. Like, throughout the decades, he was never fashionable. He never dressed in the latest trends or styles. He just had what he liked and he did it. It's just like, yes. You know, not afraid to be a kid at all. I think, you know, he loved, you know, being with us. Well, there he is, you know, at the Georgia Tech football field hanging out with Buzz. There you go. No, he was a big kid. And I do have pictures of my funny Capricorn mother in here, too. She would die if she knew I was showing you this. There we are, sitting there with a cake. Look, Moonchild, a cake. That's right. That's my Capricorn dragon mother. We're both Capricorn dragons. Oh my goodness, because she had me when she was 36. So, you know, the Chinese years come every 12 years, so she ended up with a little dragon. Just like her, a little goat dragon. And she wondered why it was hard to keep me in control. I know, my mom's hair. Uh, she still has her long hair. It's insane. Like, this woman, I swear, on January 7th, I'm going to do everything in my power to live stream with her on her birthday. I'm going to do everything I can. She is not typical of her age. She just doesn't age. It's kind of weird. It's like, all right. Sorry about we got a little detoured on a little bit of a chat rant there, guys. So here we go. Pisces, back to you. Back to you, my darling fishies. I love my Pisces. My Venus sign's in Pisces, and so I definitely have a heart for my fishy folk. One of my very favorite signs, absolutely. Magical, mystical, creative, and intuitive. I love my fish folks, absolutely. So let's see what you have got. Today is the traditional day of the Wren. December 26th is Wren Day. It is also the first day of Christmas in our 12 days of Christmas cycle. So it definitely leads us off. So let's see what we've got for you, Pisces. We are coming from a place of inspiration from the Wren. The Wren is a spirit of, skill and ability. And even though you may not be the biggest bird, because Wrens are a little bird, they use their cunning, they use their mind, they use their little skill set to affect change and really, come out on top many, many times. So Pisces, let's see what you've got. Any talents, any, personal skills that you really should be made aware of, things that you can build from, things that you can tap into. Let's see what we have got coming from the inspiration of the Wren today for you. And look at this, flying high with that eagle, Pisces. So going to a definite next level here. I love that for you. So the eagle spirit is about intelligence, renewal, courage, rising up above the fray, seeing things from a bigger perspective, especially if you've been kind of drugged down in the minutiae and the little bitty details. It's time to see things from a bigger level. Shows the golden eagle flying in front of the rising sun, indicating its association with the east, the realm of intellect and the element of air. It is the time of Lunasa, Lammas, on August 1st, and the landscape below shows the harvest being gathered in. On the horizon are the peaks of Snowdonia, where we can just make out the eagle's secret lake of renewal in the north. In the foreground is the oak tree, for the oak is the king of the forest, as the eagle is the king of the birds. The Wren is the king of the birds, too. Because the Wren took a sneaky ride on the eagle's back. The oak and the eagle are also both associated with the god Tyrannus, the Druid Jupiter, and the god Lu, who was said to have transformed himself into an eagle which perched on a mighty oak. This helps you to see your life in wider context, enabling you to make decisions and chart your goals with clarity and objectivity. A powerful ally, it is courageous, it's strong, and draws its power from the sun. If you allow the eagle to work with you, it will bring you a sense of purpose and courage to see through your projects, enabling you to adventure into fresh territory with confidence and detach yourself from everyday worries. Wow. This is beautiful. So I'm telling you, Pisces, if you've been afraid of anything, if something has been daunting or, it just feels like you can't surmount it, the eagle spirit is really coming through to say, be brave, be bold, don't worry about not having what it takes. You do have what it takes. You do have the ability to rise above the fray, and it connects as well. Because to me, the eagle, not just in the Celtic tradition, but in many traditions, in the indigenous, tradition, it is the, what connects to the Great Spirit. That's why eagle feathers are always so, valued and treasured, right? So let's get into your tarot here, Pisces. Beautiful strength card, courage, renewal, vitality being restored, your connection to the divine being strengthened. So let's see how to use this best, how to open up to this positivity. I'm getting a message to don't be afraid to be the master. Don't be afraid to embrace mastery. Don't be afraid to step into the spotlight a little. Look at that. Oh, yes. So this is about balance. And Pisces, if you have felt out of balance, especially in the area of your personal power, to me, this is about re-embracing this. Six of Pentacles is always about the balance of power, the balance of resources. It's an equal give and take kind of card. In the traditional tarot, we have, you know, the guy, the merchant who's, you know, got one hand, he's holding the scales of balance, and in the other hand, he's giving, you know, money to the needy, to the poor. So it's really about, you know, again, Pisces, you're a sign that just can give and give and give till it bleeds. You really are. And so this is saying, you know, if you've just continually given your love, your strength, your resources, your effort to people or to situations that really didn't deserve it or weren't willing to reciprocate that energy, it's time to maybe draw a little of your energy back in and use it for your own purpose or for those who really truly deserve it. So right in the center, look at this, we have our Knight of Wands. So to me, that's a very bold, fiery energy. It's Sagittarius energy. That's a very bold going forward kind of movement. And so to me, this again is saying, don't be afraid. Don't let things hold you back that have in the past. Be courageous, be strong. Don't be willing to go outside of your comfort zone, very much with that Knight of Wands. And I'm really, it's like, there's like this feeling of keeping a positive mindset, even if that's really a challenge sometimes, keeping a positive mindset and attitude. You know, Sagittarius energy, Knight of Wands, it's very expansive. It's very much about, you know, optimistic and opportunity and doors being opened. And so going into the outcome on this, we've got our Queen of Pentacles. So to me, this is, again, about really being in that place of grounding, stability, really knowing how to manage and, you know, work with your finances and resources. We've got our little bunny rabbit spirit there in the corner of the Queen of Pentacles card, because this is a symbol of fertility, prosperity, abundance, always having enough to take care of your needs. So this may be where you're really heading towards, Pisces, especially if you've been in a situation or in a time or a season where you've kind of been taken advantage of, because Six of Pentacles to me sometimes can denote that, hey, be careful people don't take advantage of you. And that, unfortunately, is something that happens to Pisces a lot, because they are very compassionate. They are very giving and generous in nature. But this is saying, Pisces, honor yourself as well. You can't give if you don't have it for yourself, right? The way you love yourself is an indication of how you love others as well. So heading beyond those boundaries, right? It's like being brave enough to step away from anything that's not, you know, maybe sucking you dry or really taking more than it should from you. And then going into this place of prosperity, abundance, grounding, harmony with that Queen of Pentacles energy. That's, you know, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, it's earth, stable energy. I love the Queen of Pentacles. She's my personal card. She's one of my personal cards, yes. So to me, Pisces, this is really, and look at the bottom. Just had to look at that for you. We've got that 10 of Wands. So to me, it is about overcoming a very difficult period of challenge. Yeah, old challenging cycles coming to an end. Things have been burdensome. Things have been tough. You know, Knight of Wands is really moving past that, really growing beyond the here and now and the limitation. Especially if you've got people in your life that are like, hey, I did this for you, now you've got to do this for me. And it's like, it's just like, you know, this card isn't about that like tit for tat, hash marks, you know, kind of thing. This is about the equal flow of reciprocity, right? And we know when we're in it. We know when we're in it, you know? Love given, love received. We know when we're in that positive flow. So let's get an oracle message from the hero's journey on this for you. Oh my goodness, Pisces, you've won the lottery. Look at that. So Pisces, maybe you should start playing the lottery sometimes. But it says, make room for wonderment, make room for prosperity, make through growth, make room for abundance, for good things coming in, for positive turns of fate, reversals of fortune. This is such a positive reading for you, Pisces. I really feel like y'all have needed it. I know a lot of my Pisces folks out there have really been going through a lot of challenging times, both in love and in money. And so to see, you know, the eagle, you've won the lottery, all this positivity coming out, that Queen of Pentacles, I mean, it's really good. The other thing I would say, you know, Pisces, even if you don't have a lot to invest, I would start investing, like, even if you're just putting it in a savings account, whatever it is, because Queen of Pentacles, oh, she's going to invest some things. She's going to invest some money in some things. And it's also being careful of who you invest. The most precious resource you have is your time, right? Your time, your emotions, your energy, right? That's our most precious resource of all. So, Pisces, watch how you invest. Feel the equal give and take and the flow of your relationships and your situations in your life. But this is, to me, some very lucky kind of feeling energy coming out of this reading. It's super beautiful. I really love it. Oh, yeah. Plant seeds of intention. That's what's on the bottom there for us. So let's do one quick universal read. That'll be for all of us. What are we meant to bring through and bring together as a collective? Let's see what we've got here. On the group level, Mr. Wren or Mrs. Wren, let's see what we've got that we are meant to be taking forward from this day through this journey of the new year to come. What should we focus on in our own gifts, talents, personal goals and giftings, for all signs, for all people, no matter who they are, no matter where they come from? What is the best thing that we should be focused on? What is the most strong talent or gift that we should be using to affect change and positive growth in the world? There it is. There is our air dragon. That's what it's about. That's our energy for this year coming through. And on the bottom of the deck, we also had our otter. Wow, guys. So I know that the otter came out for several of our signs. The air dragon did come out, I think, for Taurus, actually. And so that's, ooh, I like it. So the air dragon, to me, that feels like Ace of Swords. It feels like Aquarius energy. To me, this makes a lot of sense because we've got Saturn and Jupiter now moving in Aquarius, an air sign, a very strong air sign. So it's inspiration, it's insight, it's vitality, big breakthroughs, like big mental breakthroughs. So let's get, I'm going to read a little bit about the air dragon from this book, Das Buch. Let's see what we've got. Drag of Hair. Yes, there we go. The air dragon. This card shows one of the dragons of Beli flying high over the magical city of Dinas of Faron in Snowdonia. In the distance, a bolt of lightning reminds us that Draghair is one of the servants of the sky god. Coming into contact with the air dragon can be as a bolt of lightning to the psyche and intellect, and as such must be treated with considerable respect. Sometimes manifesting as sudden flashes of illumination, this dragon brings insight and clarity to the thought and imagination. As a conveyor of numinous power, the air dragon can be seen as a symbol of visitation and a messenger of the sky god. Wow. So this to me is all about awakening the mind. Aquarius is high energy this year. When we did the winter solstice collective reading, the sign that came out was Aquarius, and the planet that came out was Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, as being the primary energies we're working with for this winter season. And so I would say Aquarius energy, it doesn't matter what sign you are. We all have all signs represented in all of our charts. We do. Me personally, I'm an Aquarius rising. Some of you may be Aquarius Venus, Moon, etc. or have a house in Aquarius. That's where your energy is going to lie and your particular gifts as it relates to this whole. But I would say, because it is Aquarius energy, this is actually beautiful for a collective, because Aquarius represents the collective. It truly does. It represents the unity of all humankind, of all living beings. It's liberation, it's freedom, it's truth. Oh my goodness, the truth will set you free. And so Aquarius energy is very strongly represented through this air dragon coming through this, the collective. And as you know, on the underside of the deck, we did have the otter. And so again, this is that moving, going with the flow, having more fun, guys. This year was so serious and heavy. And so I really feel like we're going into a place where we are going to be lightening up, and we have to. Stress will kill you. Chronic stress and anxiety will just destroy you from the inside out. And so we do have to bring in that feeling of lightness, of levity, of joyfulness. Even if we're dealing with a lot of heavy subjects and issues and things, we have got to remember to laugh. We have got to remember to use our humor. My dad, my Aquarius dad, on his deathbed was making jokes with me. I'm telling you. He was making me laugh, even on the day that he passed away. I'm telling you, we can have humor, we can have levity, we can be laughing and crying at the same time. We can deal with the heaviness at the same time as we acknowledge that there is just sort of a natural humor or absurdity on this walk, on this earth walk sometimes. And so to me, it's a balance of energy. And otter is also, like I said, it's a community energy. So it's really about being with our community, whether physically or in spirit, right? So don't forget, you know, to tell the people you love that you love them. Connect who you have in your life. It's so important. I love this energy. The air dragon and the otter coming through. So let's get three tarot cards for our collective here. Let's see what our best way of putting this to use is. Let's see. Let's get a little directive on this. Ooh, yes. Oh my gosh. You're gonna love this. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands didn't come out the whole time we did these reads, and here she is for the collective. So wow, strong Leo energy, also some strong Aries and Sagittarius energy, big fire. So to me, Queen of Wands is our magic queen. She's a manifester, she's a go-getter, she's very generous, she's very warm-hearted, very open. She gives without reservation because she knows she'll always have more coming from the divine, coming from source. So I love the Queen of Wands. To me, this is really a strong solar energy. It's sovereignty, it's positivity and radiance. And yes, using your personal magic. Oh my goodness. The Tower is in here, guys. So this coming energy is about how we're pulling down the old paradigms, how the old towers are falling, how revolutionary radical energy is rising in its place. I feel very strongly about this. The Tower is a Mars ruled card, so it is action. It is not the Queen of Wands in the Tower. This is not about sitting still. This is about things moving and shaking. This is about taking down the old structures that don't work anymore. This is like the metaphor of the old house. You know, it's been falling apart, it's been falling apart. Maybe that's all that's left is just barely a scaffolding. It's time to knock the rest of that mess down, clear it out. And look at that. 10 of Wands, taking those darn sticks and heading out, the end of a burdensome cycle, the end of difficult times, the end of heaviness, the end of something that's been weighing on our heart and soul. Very heavy. Oh my goodness. And look at what's on the bottom. Look at what's on the bottom of the deck is the Lovers. So you gotta tell me, put a little love in your life with that Lovers card. I'm telling you, it's all about getting reconnected and communication and really having those loving experiences and partnerships come into being. And a lot of it comes in after all this junk is cleared away. Woo! telling you, Mr. Wren knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about. We've got radical new energy coming in. Yeah, no, the old towers, the old ways of doing things, old structures, the old foundations are getting knocked over. They're getting cleared away. There's going to be room for a lot of new energy moving through. Yes. So let's get an oracle card on the collective reading here. Let's see what we've got as our message for all of us. Yeah, we got to use our magic. We got to use our power. It's time to renew. It's definitely time to renew, because a lot of electric energy, unity is important. My goodness. On the large scale and the small scale. You know what, actually say that about this. Air Dragon being a very Aquarius feeling energy, that's on the mass consciousness scale of unity. And the Otter spirit is more about our connections, about, you know, our closer communities and our one-on-one connections. So this is happening on the large scale and the small scale, right? The personal level and the giant mass consciousness level. Where you are is where it's at. Bring the party with you, folks. Oh my goodness. Stay still until you are divinely moved. Oh my goodness. Yes, and a lot of us have felt we have been in a bit of a standstill, or maybe a lot of a standstill lately, haven't we? So this is just remembering that wherever you are is where things are happening. That's where the party is. That's where the energy is. So don't get down. Don't get despondent. When it's time to move, when it's time to go, when it's time to take action, which I do feel is coming, we will be divinely inspired. We will know. We will know when it's time to go. We will. Listen to your intuition. We will know when it's time to move. Let's see what's on the bottom. Look at that. Number one, the call. Yeah. Honor the whisper of your soul. Honor the intuition. We'll know when the times are right to act. Very great. Oh, loved this evening with you all. Ended up being a little longer than I thought it would, but hey, it was fun. I'm going to wrap up our evening with a song. This is another song that comes from the tradition of the Wren, wherein we talk about the king of the birds being the wren. And this gets into our 12 Nights of Christmas as well. So this is an old song called The King, and I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. Good health, love, and peace be all here in this place. By your leave we will sing concerning our King. Our King is well dressed in silks of the best, in ribbons so rare, no king can compare. We have traveled many miles over hedges and stiles in search of our King. Unto you we bring. We have powder and shot to conquer the lot. We have cannon and ball to conquer them all. Old Christmas is past, 12th night is the last, and we bid you adieu. Great joy to the new, and we bid you adieu. Great joy to the new. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening and many blessings on our day of the Wren, the first day of Christmas. I will be back tomorrow. We will have our Spirit Animal Sunday as well as a little bit of a reading for our second day of Christmas, which is the day that honors the mothers and the spirit of the mothers. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Many blessings to you, and I will talk to you all again very soon. Take care.